map, but the score is 1-1. Na'Vi holding on desperately to that advantage they had. They may end up needing it. We go to Train and Virtus.pro. I have to think would be the slight favorite there as well.
Slight favorite, I think, is being modest, to be honest.
Okay, I was
That's
being
very
polite.
modest. That's very polite. That's so Canadian of you.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So that's the advantage taken away from Na'Vi, essentially. And judging by the way VP are playing tonight and the map we have coming up as well, Na'Vi need to step their game up big time. There's the individual play from VP, then the mid-round calls, the executions onto the bomb sites, everything across the board was just better. The only saving grace for Na'Vi was, like we said, they won that pistol and got the first gun round on a chance B rush, but they looked really weak going on past that.
Yeah, and that Train is a map. Little birdies have told me that Na'Vi is not a great fan of this map, so I don't see high chances for Na'Vi. I think it's going to be Virtus.pro all the way. It's going to be another pretty high score for.
Were those birdies on Ivy, and did they used to be able to carry people by chance? I'm just curious.
Maybe.
I'm
not showing all my cards.
It is. They do know that map, those birds. They've seen everyone play it, and they do know that they see a lot of Virtus.pro in that area, speaking of which specifically, their use of Ivy is something that's actually quite impressive.
Well, that's the thing. So Na'Vi do get to start CT this time. I guess like they got 4 rounds. It was looking really good for Na'Vi. Those first opening rounds, like we said, okay, Na'Vi really are showing up tonight. 4-0 on the T side of Inferno. Amazing stuff for them. They managed to get 2 more in the end, but that was from an eco rush. But starting CT on Train definitely can get some momentum built here, but VP on the T side, it's definitely a difficult prospect for them, considering Na'Vi, the individual plays from them so far, hasn't been too impressive. And we saw Snacks kicking off big time there, really did step it up. If he can continue that form going for this map, they're in a lot of trouble.
And the thing is that Virtus.pro has such a diverse pool of strategies on this map. They can do some really, really good high-tempo tactics, but then have a lot of low-tempo ones too, where just go big on alley, like you pointed out, really well, getting a lot of opens as well. So I feel like it's going to be a really, really tough ride for Na'Vi.
Just to point out as well, just one of those interesting notes we've talked about, because obviously it lands, the 6th man is behind them, both coaches are in the server this evening. Which you could argue online they've got more view because they can jump around themselves. So Starks is here and Cubino is
actually,
here.
Online it's really good because you actually hear all the little nuances. You can switch between each player. You're not having to look at 5 screens at once. So it's having the coach online makes a lot of sense. Nati, what do you feel? How do you feel about that? Do you find it easier to coach when you're online and being able to be in that slot?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you hear everything, you can browse around the way you want to, and you see all the grenades you have, that the players have, and so forth. So when it comes to like the first thing, as an example, I was talking with Legia about this for the major. I was asking him how does he feel being an in-game leader as a coach for the first time in a situation where he doesn't have in-game sound, he's not able to see all the nades and everything going on. So how is that going to make it harder for him? So. Definitely it's a lot easier when you're on the server.
What was his response to that, out of curiosity?
At that point, he really didn't know that yet. He acknowledged the fact that it's going to be harder when he doesn't have all that information. But I haven't talked to him since, so I don't know how he felt about it.
We're about to get started. I have one more question on that, because Mo and I have talked about this on halftime the last 2 weeks. What if a coach at LAN could have a 6th computer, which you could also be in the server, or had some sort of configuration where you could see all 5 screens or something along those lines?
It would help if you'd be able to see all the 5 screens, obviously, but still the lack of in-game sound, because a lot of the things are so instinctive, it would be a lot harder without in-game sound. I think that's the thing.
Well, we're starting it up. Virtus.pro already putting pressure onto that main connector. Not a lot of pressure from Na'Vi on that outside site, considering this is a defense. They're expecting and anticipating an inside rush, so Flamey, Edward, Zeus, and Seized were all there initially. Seized will take the straight rotation back through Z connector. The rest will go for a flank on ladder. They're going to get burned alive by Neo, but Neo goes down first, and as such, they'll be able to disperse and avoid the damage. But that also slows down that rotation, allows VP to pick up 2 kills on Flamey and Seized. And now they're going to take that bomb, or thought they were going to, through Z connector and throw them off. They had outside all to themselves, but they weren't confident in it because Pasha never cleared quad. And so they walk into Edward, bomb goes down, and Pasha has to now clutch this out.
Edward getting that one click over the USP was so huge, basically stopping the bomb from going to the spawn.
So Pasha's got to come away with this. He's going to try. They're both staring in the correct direction. And does he somehow manage to pull this off? They walk in his reaction time there. A little bit slower than we normally expect from a guy like him.
So sometimes we saw on Inferno especially, the Glock train pushing in together can be so hard to counter. Sometimes the CTs are forced to make decisions like that, stacking inside and pushing towards Pop Dog. A little bit different is like eradicating certain situations. You say, okay, it's not a B rush. We're going to push in, gain some more info, and push behind them. And that one player playing outside the Navi, managing to pick up an opening kill as well, was instrumental to that because he's able to slow them down a little bit. But importantly, Navi win the pistol and get back into this series. So they will be picking up the rifles here. Like I said, they don't normally tend to go SMGs too much. C's will actually be picking up an MP7 there, but of course VP will be buying into this round. Interesting enough though, Pasha has got the Galil. After not getting the bomb down as well, that's a big play from him.
Question is though, why are they not dropping that Galil to a player with an armor?
Exactly, give it to Neo. Surely he's got the head armor. Like he's going to get absolutely owned with any sort of 2 bullets to take him down.
He's able to push up with Taz not expecting the presence so soon, so that's a free kill to start things off. Massive damage as well on a Bialy Snacks. Now Neo, who ends up taking a little bit too much damage. That 3rd bullet was the charm. It's now Zeus to follow up on Snacks. Pasha the only one with decent HP and does still have, like you say, that rifle, but no armor to go with it. Peculiar that they didn't throw that over, as you guys mentioned. Has bomb still as well, though, Pasha, so we'll see if he can try and make something happen out of a pretty even situation in the fact that there will be 2 on either side. So far not the case, though, because Na'Vi, they're going to leave Edward in that fast rotation position because they have the confidence in Seized to shut down that entry on B. And Pasha looks to go to A as it is anyway. Guardian, 2 HP. The damage was dealt, but there it goes. Bombs down this round. Write it off. They're not even going to get a plant out of this Virtus.pro on their T side and buying into that rifle. Now they're in a little bit of pain here.
Just to touch on that note again, when you don't have armor on a rifle, it's so difficult to play. If you're in any sort of one-on-one situation, the aim punch you received is like if you get hit once, your aim's going to be knocked off the game. So that's a really interesting decision from them. Not one I'd advise too much. This is when Zeus locked him down. It's the 1 bullet, and Pasha gets locked out of the round. So no bomb down once again. So they will have 2K across the board. And like I said, this is where we're going into the next round with not a full buy at all. They will have AKs, but not so much utility.
Interesting to note as well, I talked about Flamey using the M4A4. He's using it again here, and it's going to work out. This time it's not skinned up, oddly enough, but Zeus was also, and that one was his own. So he switched for this map, or so it appears. But Flamey doing an excellent job getting forward, not only getting information, but getting 2 kills. The pistols do some damage to him. He's down to 9 HP, but he's going to fall away from this. And Snacks now finds himself in a 1 versus 5 and a little bit of a nade landing at his foot just to make problems worse. Pop flash out, blinds up, Zeus into the corner. Edward doesn't care, straight through it, gets the kill.
So Flamey pushing towards the IB area, picking up 3 frags with the M4A4, like you said. Pretty decent 3 rounds for them, not really losing too much. You can see C's keeping that MP7 for now. I'm interested to see where he goes. Potentially a more aggressive round for them, trying to utilize that, get the first frag to prize him. We can see, though, VP have got a decent amount of smoke grenades, 5 of those, so you would expect them to just do a simple set piece here just to get the bomb down and assist him with the money there. And like they're going to struggle with the post-plant situation, though. There's lack of grenades. You see Edward pushing straight inside is what I'm talking about.
Shot in from Taz on Edward. Successful, that was actually incorrect. It was Zeus holding on to Flamey, so he's still the one using just the solo M4. I thought that Seized had switched over for Train, which would have been an interesting note to make. Instead, now Zeus now has to play with poor old Seized, who's gone down to Virtus.pro, and they found all the opening kills. 5 still up and 1 to go. It's just Guardian against them, and the first gun round looking to go Virtus.pro's way. Last time this didn't happen on Inferno, and VP still came back, so this is an even earlier response.
Interesting gamble for Na'Vi trying to push 3 guys from inner up, but the thing that really didn't add up for me was the fact that they were taking the battles 1 by 1 instead of trying to bunch up and then take the battles together to make sure that they trade a kill.
It was clear what they were trying to do. Obviously, pushing 2 people towards inside with the MP7. They're basically looking to upgrade that weapon early. So they can find the early frag, get an AK on him. That's a free gun for them, essentially. So we did expect an aggressive push from them. Obviously, VP just waiting for it as well. They were aware that was coming. Just holding the top of the steps there above Pop Dog. Making a clean execution, not even losing a single man there. And making a clean sheet here as the exchange comes in. Bialy does take down Guardian in the end. But like you said, Matt, this happened last half. And Navi actually got 4 rounds on the board before it went wrong. And this time only getting 3. But, of course, they do have quite a lot of money. Didn't lose too many frags in the first 3 rounds. So they get an AWP onto Guardian.
Yeah, enough money for it. He's down to 0 afterward, but look at it. I mean, he's got a full buy. He's got a kit, he's got head armor, he's got smoke, he's got flash, he's got an aid. He's got everything he would be needing in this situation, so including that P2000, which we saw what it can do last game. Unfortunately, it didn't pick up that round, but a 1 versus 5 ace nonetheless. They're going to work toward enter. Seized is their single smoke. And they've got more pressure away from that Z connector. It's Edward that plays the rotation position, but he's actually looking more forward and aggressive toward ladder. Whereas Taz, with the bomb, interestingly enough, looks to go do some reconnaissance toward the upper tunnels. Pasha just watching the flank in case they do push through Na'Vi, but so far that's not the case. They haven't done it yet, but in the off chance, why leave the risk available? As Neo now gets even further forward on upper, dropping that flash out, or rather that smoke, excuse me. That'll cover off the long shot, allow him to go for a quick drop in, and Seized is right below that ladder. So if Neo doesn't read that, he could fall down and get shot in the back just as quickly. Instead, his team's going to go in first, and he should get traded out here because Seized should get spotted up. Where's the shot, Neo? You're above him, but Neo doesn't find him. He's already gone down. He got taken off by Seized on the way through, or rather, excuse me, Zeus. As Edward now gets into sight, and Snacks, although he's pushed deep down towards CT spawn, not spotted yet, is away from a drop bomb that Seized has control of, and he can't even find a kill there, does Snacks. And Pasha, AK in his hands, I think he'll hold on to that. Na'Vi just going to dodge a bullet because lose this, they're back to saving. It's 3-2, instead it's 4-1. And Virtus.pro with no bomb plant are going to be very limited on what they can do.
The importance of entry kill is such a huge factor because if you don't get, if there's 5-on-5 in that situation where you're entering the bomb site, you can't find that first defender, it's going to keep you cautious. You're not going to be having a lot of confidence just running up on the inner site, which actually you have to do that. So Seized being able to stay alive as long as it did was basically the saving grace there for Na'Vi.
What was interesting about that round as well, VP didn't show any presence towards anywhere else on the map apart from the inside there and towards the top of Pop Dog. It allowed Na'Vi to get a lot of information. Flamey fished all the way to the end of Ivy there, worked out what was going on. That's the moment you saw the rotation come in just in time as well. VP probably wanted to execute a little bit faster, I feel, just to make sure they actually lock down the numbers. But still, they do come back into this with 5 AKs and more Gal going back towards the Ivy area. The CT's pushing though with the AWP. Will Guardian be able to find the frag here?
Shot from Pasha, reigns supreme. And again, keep in mind, they did play this map the other night. VP took the win very narrowly. Actually, I take that back. It was 16-14 Na'Vi. It was a close game all the way through. And the reason was that they were able to shut down VP's presence at that Ivy position. So Na'Vi looking to put the same pressure on. Works against them that time, but they're still finding the kills. Snacks goes down to Zeus, and we're seeing from Neo's perspective, he's got a chance here in this 1-on-3. We've seen him clutch out a lot in the last few nights, but hasn't been able to close them off. Low HP, finds the 2 low HP players. Loses a little bit in the second effort because it was a 1-up for Flamey, who had the shot before he had time to react. So 26 now for Neo, and Seized is going to walk out. He's spotted up, but still able to get the shot in before Neo can respond.
And once again, doing it, playing the round perfectly, finding those 2 frags, getting himself into such a strong position, not being able to finish off the clutch there. Very good attempt by him, but Na'Vi continue the pressure. 5-1 now, and now they've finally broken the VP economy. So many force buys from them. You can see Pasha has got about 4k, but he won't be investing too heavily into this round. No grenades bought as such as well. P250s across the board for them, apart from Taz, who has got a Glock. So almost a throwaway round for them. Not really much they can do. Actually pick up 2 smokes right at the end there, so maybe they can get a bomb down in the situation.
But what you have to appreciate is, though, Navi's aggressiveness all across the map, really making it hard for Virtus.pro to have any impact.
You gotta love Taz there. He gets by the first player, beats the Molotov. He's thinking, yes, I made it. I'm gonna run. Boom. Guardian's there as well. Sorry, Taz. So now Seized has the opportunity to push forward a little bit more. Able to take down Pasha. Zeus, as we can see in the obituary, found Snacks just before that. But the only obituary anyone reads these days because the newspapers are a dying medium. But Guardian now with the op. Smoked off to upper. They know where they are. And Seized is still waiting for them to walk back across. Doubling up. Triple total in the round. Very well done by him.
Yep, so like I said, pretty simple round there for Na'Vi. Not really much being bought from VP. They did have a couple of smokes. Looks like they're trying to go towards inside there, but C's locking them down before they could even begin that execution. So an AWP now coming off VP, a change of pace for them. I think that's the first time we've seen it this half from them. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboard. We can see Seized and Zeus picking up 7 kills there, so doing pretty well going into the 8th round for them. And looks like VP now doing early smokes into the outside area. Suggests they're going to show the outside aggression we know they're so good at.
Pasha staring down toward that upper corner in case anyone pushed. Someone did, in fact. Seized, he's in that smoke, but instead they go back over to the A site, and that's where Zeus is waiting, and Zeus has made it his yard. The yard master and his dog not going to let it in, and speaking of dog, it's Pop Dog where Pasha gets his aggression on, but still not able to find a kill. When he eventually locates one, Snacks beats him to it, and Virtus.pro pull all the kills back. Zeus, he did an excellent job initially, but eventually it all came for naught.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We talked about Pasha giving the role of the AWP over to Neo recently, and now he's picking up the AWP, making 2 kills there, really important ones as well. The flick shot towards the end towards Popdog, great stuff from him. Zeus with his great opening as well. You thought that round was tied up for them. Nice couple of early frags from him, but they come back into it, take the second round on the board for them. VP still got the AWP on Pasha as well.
This round here can determine really much how this half is going to go. At 6-2 scoreline, Na'Vi is really low in economy, so if Virtus.pro picks this one up, they're going to be looking at tying the score up here.
4 stack on the A site with Edward very far forward, but Flamey's not yet watching Ivy. He's going to go back to it. I'd love to see more initial smokes that have spawned right now from Virtus.pro on top of Quad and on the bomb train, just to allow their entry to be more effective. But the way Na'Vi's playing it, by putting 2 players so far forward, Zeus and Edward in this case, they still have issues on their entry. They've still got to deal with it. It's kind of like an overpass approach right now where the smokes on the A side are so effective, but you get aggressive toward bathrooms. Well, it's kind of what they're doing here, Na'Vi, getting forward of that execution. And now Bialy and Pasha are held in place. They're looking to get the op shot from Pasha. Unfortunately, can't land on Flamey, who runs back, doesn't need to readdress the issue. So he'll just let it be. He'll allow them a little bit more forward as a result, but he's also still got Zeus at Hell, and as Flamey realizes with timing, that they've got to be close, he does turn his attention back and find Bialy. Deters Pasha entirely, he's gone.
Really nice opening frag there from Edward, forcing the VP to reconsider their options, and now you can see very passive setup from the CTs.
And they have eventually used all of the grenades they had. The Molotov now just coming out from Pasha, but his teammate's already gone. Taz and Neo falling to Zeus and seized. And Pasha, though he's looking to try and get forward onto that bomb, the incandescents actually work in his favor because Zeus didn't spot him up initially there, which allowed him to get that op shot. But he didn't get far enough forward to get the bomb, so there's still Na'Vi's round to win with 3 seconds. He needs to stay alive here. He needs to die right now if he's going to, and instead it's going to be after the round. Gone, op, money, everything, forget it.
Yeah, he probably should have just got out of that a lot sooner. It wasn't really worth getting 1 kill there with the AWP. Loses that and all his money as well. You can see him on $100. Going to take him a couple of rounds to recover. They won't be having the AWP again anytime soon. So now Navi bring out the double AWP setup. This is when you're at your most strongest. You've got enough rounds and momentum to justify it, and you can have one towards inside aggressively perhaps.
Interesting they go double up against pistols though, because this could still actually catch them off if they manage to get up close. There's a bit of a risk in it. I get your point entirely, but
that's going to be the inside push as well, so there is going to be any panic. This may be the round.
Smoke out at the top of the ramp as per usual for Seized, leaving a slight gap on the left, and that's exactly why. Taz and the bomb plummeting forward. Thank you very much, says Na'Vi. That makes things a lot easier. Guardian's going to use that first op twice now as he takes down Neo. And that's up at the upper side. They do eventually get Seized down. They'll pick up that bomb, but Edwards come over. Both ops come into play. Zeus gets a kill. It's over, and Na'Vi, this is 180 from where they were last map.
So you can see after Pasha receiving that deficit last round, his team can buy, but he will be on the Tech 9. Really nice play from C's there, making sure he got the early information, didn't allow the T's to swarm the bomb site. He got that first kill as well. Bomb rolled all the way down to the bottom, so able to rotate pretty convincingly when you see that. But that dual AWP setup will stay true, and you can see 3 TCs now pushing towards Ivy. Will they go for that aggression once again? They have been pushing it quite a lot. Yeah, I think Flamey will be. It's actually Edward going to be holding with the AWP this time.
For Taz to spot Guardian. Even if he does with that jump, he's still exposed in that smoke. It's not like bullets disappear within it, so Guardian still has a chance in it. Unintentional boost, I think, there, but it could have worked out, and then a bit of miscommunication. Neo getting damage from his teammate and then walks back and catches a nade through that window. I imagine Neo's a little bit frustrated with that, but either way. See if they can still open up the round with the limited weaponry they've got to work with.
This is looking like it's going to be a yard smoke round soon enough happening, and they're just going to try to ram in with the Tech 9s.
Yeah, force a post-plant situation is the best they can probably hope for here. Tech 9s can run through those smokes, surprise some CTs potentially, but with a player up in heaven, it should be locked down pretty convincingly as Seals goes down.
First couple of kills are going to be super important. Looks like it's going to be a fake, actually.
This could work.
Yep.
So they're pulling apart the CTs actually. There'll only be 1 remaining inside.
And that does mean that it is the one solo player who needs to hold it. Guardian so far is able to take the first shot with the op. Bomb goes down though, and Taz is watching that alleyway. If Guardian goes for a repeat, Taz needs to hit this shot instantly. Meanwhile, C's just to the left of Guardian has come away with the shot. Taz now spots Guardian. Guardian doesn't manage to go down. He actually evades the last bullet, and Flamey, as Taz was distracted getting that kill, leaves Guardian alive to find Bialy. How quickly that could have changed. Bomb defused, last member down.
Yet another example of when you're going your side, if you don't have any aggressive control of that site, then you just have nothing going on. It's impossible to hold it against retaking CTs when no one's up front on that site.
It's quite interesting to know that fake really did work for VP, and getting one player to the inside site, Guardian didn't even get the information they were in until the bomb was going down. So that's something to know for VP there, but they will be on another force buy here. So you see some Tech 9s, some CZs there. That's a few sets of armor and the smokes again. So this is the round I probably would assume they'll do the same outside smokes and maybe go out with them this time, try and get the bomb down. Once again, one player alone inside for Navi. That's going to be C's. He's having a good game so far, has been locking it down well.
Pasha just hanging out inside the main connector for anyone to push forward. Bialy and Snacks are even farther behind. They're still back towards spawn. So VP potentially gambling on a careless play from Navi, but they'll know the situation money-wise, and why would they even consider pushing toward pistols? As Edward knocks out the glass just to make his shot that much more effective when they do walk in. Here's smoke execution. We haven't quite seen it. Now, the interesting thing is they've left a gap at quad, which does still give Zeus perfect line of sight, and look at the result. Pasha goes down, Edward able to shoot above it from control, takes down Taz. Snacks with the only response, and then it all falls apart and done. One more smoke, and they might have been able to get a bomb plant out of that.
This has been a great half for Navi, just the way they've been playing really aggressive on the CT side, but at the same time, Virtus.pro has been really crippled with their economy throughout the whole half. Like, you've seen a lot of these kind of buys where they just don't have the weaponry to work with on a map like the train where you need it.
So now, interesting enough, Snacks picks up the AWP. We've seen Pasha doing it most of the AWPing this half. Changing the role over to Snacks, so he's having a go. Neo, we say, is a dedicated role, but not actually having a go yet.
Yeah, in both maps,
yeah.
Interestingly enough. And Snacks last time was effective, so I can understand this. Perhaps still fiddling with things on Virtus.pro to see if they can find an even more effective formula with this team. Definitely lots of options. Snacks is going to be trying to peek down that alleyway, but look above because he's got problems. Zeus able to get on top of the blue train. And as Snacks was looking there, the teammate beside him, who is that? Neo, could have been able to cover that position and not able to find Zeus. Fortunately, not a lot of damage. Actually gets, in fact, 3 HP total on Pasha so far. Goes against them, and that means that Zeus did actually lose that dual butt as he comes back for a second effort. He gets Neo, and now it gives the man advantage again to Na'Vi, who have 10 rounds already as 12 have already expired. Pasha getting one back, but traded instantly by Seized. And again, Edward, he's on top of the bomb train this time, but still elevated. Those smokes, he's pretty much got to land at his feet if he's going to want to be blinded off by this one. And right now, there is no, well, there's one for Taz. There is no chance of those smokes even coming in. Snacks is going to lurk with the bomb, by the way, toward Ivy, so we'll see if he can open up something. Taz spotting Zeus now has Edward to deal with, staring at him, in fact, because he knows exactly where he is, and it's just a matter of waiting it out. But as he waits, there is a chance for Snacks to get closer to the bomb site. His position, though, won't let him be spotted up from his right. That's where Snacks is. He's going to put a smoke out. He's got the bomb down. Guardian's going to rotate him behind, but Snacks gets opened up. Edward missing that shot. Gives Snacks a chance. No, never mind. To get away because Guardian with the second op catches him around the corner, and it's left to Taz to defend this. There's a chance. He's got both. Low HP on Seized is the result of that death, and he just has to bait out Guardian, but needs to be so careful to avoid any utilities tossed against him because it's only 12 HP, and Guardian is still firing through. That bullet was desperately close, and so was that one, but Taz is still alive, and Taz is playing this almost perfectly.
Wow.
What a clutch by the Tazmeister.
Whoo, what a round from him. That second kill was insane. He had like 2-3 bullets on him, and he whipped that shot towards connector and made it a 1-on-1, and just perfect play there in the 1-on-1 against Guardian. Wow.
Do we think that missed shot from Edward was anything to do with that? Had he have got that first kill and not had to rely on Guardian, Guardian may have been in a better position there, but Taz can't take anything away from that. Guardian's such a difficult situation when he's got the AWP. We saw him trying to spam through.
3 of those bullet holes would have brushed the kneecaps of Taz.
Wow, what a crazy round to get VP back into this. They've looked a little bit lost. I was going to say, Navi's aggressive play, Zeus especially getting some really important kills, but when clutches happen like that, it's not really much you can do about it. Just great individual performance from Taz.
Hopefully they can build their spirits off of this and try and claw back into this game. It's still 10-3 for Na'Vi, and really damages against Virtus.pro yet again. Passes down to 19. And Edward, he's also very far forward this time. He's got good map control of that main connector, which gives Guardian more confidence on B, gives Zeus more confidence to get up toward ladder, and Na'Vi again are locking things down quite well on their CT side.
So Neo actually picking up the AWP that time and going down straight away to the hands of Guardian. So Not too much impact there, I'm afraid, and this could be an important round. Navi win this one. VP have absolutely nothing going to the last one, but that's that initial kill. Guardian going aggressive on that lower ramp. That's a really ballsy play from him, but it pays off.
Zeus again, though, and Edward have done so well to get a forward presence in this A site.
Oh, Pasha coming through alley. This is going to be a big one.
The issue is, though, that he's just a decoy because the bomb is committed onto this inner site, and they've already got the rotations in place, so Pasha's going to be late. If they get the bomb down, there's a chance for him to be important in the post plant, but that's not even going to happen, as Taz, again, has to clutch it from within. And unfortunately, the beast is too great. It is Flamey to get the kill. Pasha, like you said, might have been a factor, but so far away from the play.
He just missed his
A
train.
little bit of a whiff there. Yeah, missed the train. That's good. Keep
That is
keep
good.
that up. That's why you're here. Yeah, really nice stuff there from Navi. Again, like I said, going into this last round, if they didn't win that, they were in a lot of trouble. They only get $1,400 going to this one. Very scrappy execution for VP there. Looks like a little bit lost, giving C's very easy kills on the bomb site there. And we go in 11-3, and it's going to be obviously the full buy what they can. Tech 9's armor, a few smoke grenades, but looks like all the players opting to go straight towards the inside area now. Actually slowing things down as well. And I think it will just be the burst, but C's has been so strong in this position all evening, so I'm sure he'll have something to say about this.
Yeah, he doesn't spot them. He has left a gap a number of times on that smoke. He just deploys it further to the right of the door and then can spot them. And it's not a one-way smoke, but it almost works that way just because he can see their feet so much quicker. That time it doesn't work out. He gets one kill from the grave, burning Pasha alive, but Virtus.pro finally getting into the site. Guardian comes back in, but the bomb's down. They're down a man, but the bomb is down, so they can play this out correctly. They don't have the best post-plant positions, but they are forward of this. Spotted up, though, Zeus sees one. He might see both before this is over, because they are stumbled up upon themselves, and Zeus does see both, but goes down to Bialy. They're coming on top, and he can't do anything from that lower angle.
Yeah, getting that first entry kill onto C's was pretty big. We managed to take one down with him, the big burn alive play. So I was talking about him being great in that position all night and actually didn't do much there, but it doesn't really matter. The bomb going down is doesn't mean a whole lot when it's the last round. So 12-3 for Navi, much stronger response from this half, and I think they've done just enough there. We know VP CT half is formidable though, such a strong fortress they can present on this map, so it's definitely not over yet. If VP get the pistol, we've definitely still got a game on our hands. So
I think a lot of it comes down to just Virtus.pro really having a poor money management that half as well. They were giving away a lot of rounds where they just didn't have the equipment to do anything.
One thing to note as well, they have a very good fast execution onto the main bomb site. Didn't really employ that once. It seemed like a bundle of ideas coming together. We saw Snacks AWPing, we saw Pasha AWPing, Neo AWPing, just trying to just do anything they can, like maybe a little bit confused perhaps.
I think we've cursed Edward because even still with Na'Vi and this giant lead, he's still losing the head-to-head with Passion at the bottom of the scoreboard. So kiss of death from us perhaps to select him this evening, but ultimately they've got the lead heftily going into the second half. C's, by the way, though, pretty impressive stuff with 18 kills in one half.
Yeah, he was playing the inside site alone most of the time and always getting 2 or 3 frags. Really good stuff, especially on that first gun run as well. Left alone in there.
He's got a worthy opponent to take away the honors in that position, though, because like you said, Taz is one of the best players in the world in that spot. They need the pistol to even make this possible, if he even wants a chance to showcase that, though.
I want to be a believer, but I think it's going to be really tough. Obviously, pistol round is going to be key. Again, it's one of those situations where you want to make sure you win the pistol, and then the first weapon run, you want to mop up your opponent to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then you just work in one round by round.
So a couple of highlights here. We can see Flamey in pushing. It was against an eco, full Glocks, but 3 kills nonetheless. Not really much to say about that.
Yeah, that was actually and that was a pretty decent round. It actually came back, I think, with a couple kills from Snacks at the end, but it was a double up from Guardian as well. This
was more important. This is when entry kills from Neo. That was the first aggressive push from Navi.
That was the first round that they won, actually, as well, of 3.
So they kept that MP7. They pushed inside, and then Taz getting the opening kills. But now we go into the pistol. Very important round. It goes without saying. And we can see Navi there.
2 Tech 9s.
2 Tech 9s, 2 Swift.
Oh, Snacks already. How quickly was that? As Edward taken down inside that main connector, Zeus doesn't know that there's 3 pushing on him. He just puts out some preemptive fire, hoping someone might walk into it. And there are 3 players heading that direction.
Oh, Zeus is being so sneaky beaky here. He's going to flank those guys.
He has gotten around them. So this is interesting that 3 players have gone by. He's going to come down the ladder, and there it is. The flank's already happening. Swaps guns out so he doesn't have to reload, and now he's putting shots toward Pasha, who's far away from it. But Guardian has got Neo, and now it's Bialy and Pasha's turn to respond. This comes back to just our man Zeus. who managed, with 3 players lurking in front of him, to get around, get behind, and get a kill, and potentially more. Both are low on HP right now. In fact, all 3 are, and it's just not going to be enough for Zeus.
So that's the round they needed to win, obviously, if they wanted to stay alive in this series. So I'm glad they won it, because now they can potentially build a big bank here. It'll be interesting to see how Navi respond to this. They know they've got a great advantage. They want to go in with the first...
And VP are going like, it's new school in CS, but old school CSGO. They've gone back to the P90s a lot this week.
Just to point out, Navi are looking to the future here, not investing into this round. Didn't get a bomb down here, but they want to have a strong economy. No nades, no guns being purchased whatsoever. They're playing the long game. They want to make sure they don't get themselves in a deficit. A full-on inside rush coming in.
And this is where Taz plays with his P90. He's gotten kills, multiple kills with it all week long. And he's definitely showing off why at one point in time it was so viable. That's right. $300 for that SMG, but still times 4. It's not too bad at all.
Money.
Look at this buy now. We talk about VP normally getting the SMG second round. Navi are aware of that. They are going to be buying everything they can here. Not necessarily enough, to be honest, on Train. They've got 1 smoke and 2 players about head armor, but they do have the long range advantage here. As long as they utilize that, definitely have a decent chance here.
And they're doing this with no bomb plant either, so they're going to go right to 0.
Let's see if Virtus is responding with some aggressiveness here.
Flames in place to hold them still. That does let Bialy get close with SMG. Snacks as well, but he's got a rifle and he's losing HP fast. Down to 43. Edward's on 44. Which one's going to drop first? It's going to be Edward who goes to Bialy, and he'll follow that up by taking Guardian. And now that's a free kick. If this round concludes itself as it's starting, this is a free kick potentially for Virtus.pro, because Virtus.pro, or rather Navi, have given away all their money to charity, to Virtus.pro's charity of choice, apparently.
Getting worse for them as well.
Bialy a little bit quick to swap the gun out, but still picks up his 3rd kill. Seized comes back with 2. Snacks is low HP. If they can find him and bring it back. Okay, well, there you go. Bring it back to a 2-on-2. I was going to say maybe there's a chance here, but Pasha finding Flamey first means that Seized is running out of chances and odds to win it. And giving away his position. Watch for Snacks, who's beside him now. Snacks needs to execute discipline here, because if he fires carelessly on 9 HP, he will get countered, and does have an M4 that they would drop down. Pasha losing the P90, not as crucial or detrimental.
But now we saw exactly what I was asking for, aggressiveness from the CTs. When you have the SMGs, you want to play really up front, and then Bialy just went ham on that round, getting 3 kills with the MP9.
That's the thing.
MP7.
When you force up that early, you literally have no utility whatsoever. You have to make picks, and you have to face certain angles. And we saw them trying to get a pick there, and Bialy playing it perfectly, going right up there with the MP7. Definitely got the running, shooting advantage, keeps pushing with it as well, and really does shut them down. That's a horrible situation for Navi now as they go into this. Should be the first gun round for them with absolutely nothing. So 12-6, VP definitely fighting back in the second half.
Snacks is going to fall away from the site and get up into the control room, blowing out those windows. That should go undetected, as Navi's not that close into the site. So he'll have the M4 in a higher angle. Bialy and Pasha, this is much different from what we saw from Navi, who played very forward. Again, they're up against pistols this round, but so far, it's been very passive inside that A site.
I think these guys are aware of what kind of buy they'll be up against here. They'll be a full eco. They don't want to give anything away. Just want to make sure the bomb doesn't get planted and stay far back.
And to follow that up, they did get aggressive with the SMGs, so this time they play it more coordinated. It works out perfect. VP going to pick up this round. Now it's 7. And Navi are still pretty... Okay, no, they've got money out with the lost round bonus, so they actually, despite not getting a bomb plant yet, will have enough for a full buy in this round. Yeah, so and the AWP for Guardian.
That's the crucial part here, right? So if he can make this work for them, but VP, they know they've got a bit of a huge task left in them. Let's have a look at the frags here. Seized 22 kills. Definitely had a good game so far. Needs to start stepping up on the T side. So far, it's been a one-sided affair. 4 rounds going for VP as we enter the first real gun round now. Taz, of course, left alone. We talked about him being a strong inside player.
50 HP left, though, as that nade hits Guardian. Up, spotting one, but not reacting in time. And I think Bialy knows the situation because he's not re-peeking that. He spotted him in return. Good smoke by Snacks now allows him to be able to push up and have confidence just to stare at the main connector. If they push through the smoke, if they took that gamble, sure. Might catch Snacks right now, but he knows that's unlikely. And as such, look what the result is. Able to push for free into Guardian, and there's no response from Navi whatsoever. Yeah, but they are getting Flamey coming down Ivy.
Perfect frag from them. If you manage to pick one up, not die, not even lose any HP, and just fall back and reset the round, you should have tied things up. It's a perfect play there.
Flamey is out Ivy, though. He's got Pasha staring him down as he gets around the outback, almost caught with a nade out. The Molotov means Flamey's limited. It also means that Pasha as well, who gets a Molotov thrown back at him, can't re-peek him. And the cat and mouse, and now it's Neo inside the site as Zeus eventually will come down ladder. There's 29 seconds left, and Bomb's just going to work up that alleyway toward Hell. And Neo just going to work up toward the main connector, so they're all kind of shuffling around each other right now as Na'Vi has Hell, the main connector, and Flamey and Ivy to try and execute on this A site. 15 seconds, they've got to go now, and Bialy's staring in the correct direction to spot up. Edwards sees him and takes down the low HP player. Not only that, Pasha's found Flamey. It's left to just seized, and a little bit too late.
I don't
for anything to really happen there.
I don't think this kind of plan is going to work against Virtus.pro, to be honest with you. What we saw yesterday on TSM, how they started getting rounds, is they used a lot of flashes on top of the like front of the yard to make sure the players that are playing from CT very up front are going to be uncomfortable, and making sure that battle is going to be really hard for the CT to start off with, and then work from there on out. When you play like this, VP is just going to pick you apart.
You know, they're relying so heavily on Guardian making that first frag, and he's got completely shut down. He didn't even see the player that killed him. And now, once again, they're on a full eco. It's 5 in a row. Taz pushing on that inside area, of course. So strong in that position, takes down Flamey. Pasha gets one of his own. 5 on 3 now in favor of VP.
Pasha, he's already got one, so Taz pushes forward 2, and Bomb. Still going to stick around with that Tech 9 as well. Smoke's gone, so Edward is allowed an easier shot to find his opponent, but all for naught. And there we go, Virtus.pro. We talked about their CT side being strong. It had to be to come back from what was a 12-3 deficit. 6 unanswered, maximum loss round bonus. Does mean Guardian brings out the op again, though.
Yep, and not having any impact whatsoever last round. What can you do this time?
Crucially as well, though, no bomb plants yet for Na'Vi.
Well, that's the thing. They've just been relying on picks, and they're not getting them. They've forced bought a little bit of a silly situation, in my opinion. Seems like something a little bit faster paced, more set. Smoke's going out to the yard nice and early. There may actually be a fake here.
And they have put a lot of pressure to this inner halls, but look what's happening in response. Taz has actually gotten by Zeus in that smoke, manages to pick up a kill behind him. Pasha's got another, and Neo, even if Taz goes down here, which he does not, he finds Zeus as well. This smoke works perfectly for Taz to pick up 3. Still had Neo in the corner to support as well, so you can fake them all you like, but you ran into an unfortunate situation where there was B-heavy spawns.
The fake actually didn't work out for them at all, because as soon as they threw those smokes, the response from Taz is, okay, it looks like they're going outside. I'll try and get some more information by pushing in there. And the moment he does it, you see Guardian jump over his head of an orb. Not really much he can do in that situation. Panic ensues around that smoke. Taz picks up a few more easy frags here. The T's are so confused in that sort of situation. But now it's looking really strong. That's 7 in a row for VP, and this is what we talked about. Their CT half being very strong indeed. But the loss bonus, like he said, working in Navi's favor. Again, they do have the AWP.
Shots rattled off from an AWP in the distance, but Bialy inside the A site wants to get forward this time, so it's his turn to go information hunting. It's a full split right now, 3-2 in the opposite corners of the map, with Flamey and C's now taking the shot at Ivy. Perhaps buying a rotation from Neo, who looks to go CT spawn and cover those back halls, leaving just Taz. Now it is Taz, keep in mind, in that B site, with Guardian, the bomb on Edward, and Zeus trying to get inside. But Bialy knows that there's no one at the main connector, so they don't have to overcommit to the rotation because Neo is already dealing with the problems at Ivy, and where he only spots up one additional player, they're going to know that it's inside, and Taz finding Zeus. Well done. Flash, like you guys said, was on point, and now he's got one down. Things are slowed for Na'Vi. They've got no room to breathe, and Flamey, in fact, has gone all the way back through T-spawn. And like I said, Bialy is still lurking inside that main connector. Good shot from Flamey. Good shot from Guardian. They bring it back to a 3-on-2, and now Taz has to re-evaluate his positioning, and he's got the read. He thinks they're going to the inside bomb site. He's correct. Flamey's gone through quad, and now they've gotten down Neo. It's left to just Taz. Na'Vi turn this around as things looked against them. They come for them, and it's Flamey to close it out. Well done, Na'Vi, to dig themselves back in.
Yeah, finally got themselves the opening pick they needed. CT side started to fall back from there. We saw that really nice, clever flash from Taz there. That's a really interesting play from him, and we're going to see it again. That actually timed to perfection. They can see how blind is he as he gets taken down, but the first round on the board for Navi this half.
Talk about old dogs not learning new tricks, huh?
Yeah, or old dogs that are so damn clever, tricks are just normal.
Double AWP setup for VP now.
A little unfortunate for Pasha getting killed through that smoking Ivy, which basically cost the rotation and gave the entry.
Guardian takes down Pasha again for Na'Vi to get the opening pick, and they follow it up. So maybe the momentum's just turned enough as Virtus.pro got back to double digits, got back to within 2, but Na'Vi picking up their first round on T side and potentially their second after a brilliant first half. They find themselves able to close this one out still. It's not done just yet, as Snacks will manage to find Edward. But with Taz down, who's been their top dog, it's looking less and less likely for Virtus.pro. Neo finally getting in with that AWP will take down Flamey. He's been quiet this game, but if there's a time to be loud, it's right now. And unfortunately, his only cry will be a scream of death.
Yep, so these picks really are working now. Guardian opening up once again. He really has switched on. And hasn't broken the economy just yet of VP. They are in touching distance now of map point. Navi finally showing up in his half. I think it was 9 or something in a row. Maybe 8 for VP. But now you have to sink. It's a very convincing couple of rounds from Navi though.
It was 7 in a row.
7 in a row.
Yeah.
Guardian looking for that shot through quad. Does actually tag Neo down to 2 HP. And Virtus.pro, this is their last round of decent income. Having lost 2 in a row, the max for loss bonus reset from Na'Vi, but crucially able to pick up that second in sequence. And they've still got decent bank this round as well, so they could potentially still, even without a bomb plant, find themselves in a good situation next time. Virtus.pro's got to play this wise as Snacks gets Edward early, smokes himself off so he's not spotted in that corner, but C's already getting the opening kill. And Ivy forces Bialy and Neo back, which leaves Taz alone on B.
Guardians, we've gone past Snacks here. In team main, he's out yard.
The issue is that C's does not, and he may think that that's called. So this is clear. This could still work out. It doesn't. Snacks does go down, and now they've got problems in her with Neo on 2 HP. Has to come over and support. It's 3 versus 3, but on top of the bomb site, Bialy goes down, and with Neo's HP, things are going to be problematic, or are they? He still manages to pick up Guardian. Goes down in the end, but he's given Taz a real chance. It's 1-on-1. Bombs down just beyond hell, and Flamey doesn't care. He wants to go 1-on-1 and take this fight. There's still 30 seconds. He's got time to go back and grab that, but that nade, Taz just gets forward of it. 8 HP left. He only loses 3. That could have been the end of it. And instead, he's still got position on this bomb train. And Flamey's running out of time. 14 seconds. This may still work out for Taz, who's already clutched 1-1 on 3. He may still get another. Flamey just gets out of vision. He's still searching for Taz. He doesn't know he's here. This is Taz's round. It has to be. Flamey goes to planet. He's got to stick it, and Taz brilliantly and luckily dodges that nade. For another brilliant clutch.
Very lucky. Talk about luck, but like clever play from Taz, for sure.
Really clever game sense there. Was playing Ring Around the Roses in the bomb
Do you want to talk about close calls and his clutches? Because think back to Guardian's shots that not only went through the electrical box, hit the wall so close to him that the residue showed up on his screen. So that's twice he's been millimeters away from death, and it's 2 rounds VP have gotten.
Yeah, Flamey not utilising the time he had left there. Probably wanted to get the bomb down early instead of hunting down the kill there, but VP get one back and keep themselves within this map.
Snacks is on that bomb train. He's actually pushed forward onto ladder. Needs to be careful because they do have 2 players down there. Smoke deployed on top of the Molotov a little early, but still buys time for Virtus.pro. And Snacks is very close and in the corner. Who's his support system? It's Bialy, who needs now to watch through quad and cover off main just so Snacks doesn't get caught in the open. And he's put himself in that position as Edward will join. Taz playing upper this time at inner, so not the lower ramp. He'll cover from the corner. Neo drops a smoke so he can leave B and goes join in on A because Guardian finding Snacks, as we mentioned, pushed up means that they're going to need some extra help on that site. And they've essentially given up the far corridor of quad so Bialy can get on the bomb train, and that is why, although it's Pasha that actually gets the kill onto Flamey. Zeus knows he's got that much room into the corner as we saw, but can't go a whole lot further because Bialy is still menacing and lurking within. And there's another shot and a kill for Virtus.pro, who now bring it back to a 3 versus 3. How does Bialy attempt to close this out? Still another Guardian goes down, but Zeus was right there with the AK. Taz, though, on the rotation. He's come around from ladder, is able to drop C's. It's left to just Zeus. He's got to pick up bomb, and he's got 16 seconds to make this work. He manages to take down Pasha, and he's rotated through the smoke. He's going inner. Does Tad read this? Yes. Okay. He doesn't see him cross over to the bomb. He instantly knows this. Now, the thing is, does Zeus plant? Yeah, okay, he does. I thought he might try and wait this out for Taz to get on top of him. Instead, he plants, can't get away. He does. He's only got 7 HP and yet manages to dodge that single bullet. How does Taz approach the situation now? Because up the ladder, he's going to be exposed, and he hits it as he falls back.
Wow.
Taz, this is one of the best games I've seen you play in a long time.
Oh
Coming up,
my.
absolutely massive.
How many clutches has he had? Like 3?
3 big ones, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That shot as well, jumping off the ladder, headshot midair. Like, that doesn't happen very often. Obviously, he had hit one bullet, but what a way to end it in style. Guardian actually opening up the rounds really much consistently every single time.
Also, money situation for Na'Vi. They're going to be on a save round, so it's going to get ever so close here. It's going down the wire.
Look at this shot. Boom.
Insane.
Midair headshot. Why not?
Because I can. I will do it.
It's like you said, the money being broken officially. They did get the bomb down, but not enough to play with. They took the pause here. This is what we talked about. This is when Zeus will be shouting. Everyone kind of work out what's going on. Guys, we need to just clear this out. We're getting the opening picks here, and we're losing every single clutch situation. Someone please win one, just so we get to take the pressure off and get to map point. That's all they need right now, just to alleviate and give themselves some breathing space at least. But it seems like VP really are turning up in this second half. We talked about them being a very strong CT team, but
It's not even that I would call either of these teams poor on T side either. It's just that both of them are so good CT side. This is the result of the recipe. Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
right.
clutches, right? So that just shows you how tightly this is coming up. And great individual play from across the board, really. You can see the highlights here. A lot of players on the server stepping up. Zeus, those great opening frags on the Navi CT side. But now they just need one more to kind of get them over the edge. And this is the first pause we've seen in a long time in this, on an online play at least.
We didn't see any last night. We thought TSM might consider it in the map number 5.
But goes to show how much is on the line right now. This is
I mean, put it this way. This puts Virtus.pro in the lead despite having a map against them when they started this off. And Na'Vi not able to pick up the first 2. Now, I still think that they've got a chance when we get to Mirage and Overpass. But Overpass is the last one, and I would say that's their best chance. Mirage, VP could still close it out. And how remarkable would it be if they did that 3 straight?
So the thing is about pauses as well. It gives VP a second just to work out maybe and guess what the adaptation will be here from Navi. We haven't seen too many set pieces or walls of smoke from them yet. It's been very pick reliant. So maybe VP can take this opportunity to think, okay, maybe they'll be changing the pace here, trying to get a bomb down and win a clutch that way. So I wouldn't be surprised you saw them do something very aggressive, pushing towards Ivy themselves, going for that first pick and locking down this possible set execution that could be coming in. Interesting and huge round nonetheless coming up. You can see the T's are going to invest into this. 2 players on pistol. Guardian Edward with absolutely nothing. It's going to be Zeus, Flamey and Seized having to carry this one.
Just those 3 AK-47s trying to just break VP away from the stranglehold they've had on this half. Because VP right now aren't that great with money either. If they win this, it could just be enough for Na'Vi. There's the start they want. Flamey finding Bialy. Puts them with the man advantage, and Snacks now has to get more passive because Bialy is his partner in crime on that A site. As Pasha still has responsibilities and duties out toward Ivy.
Has to be said, Virtus.pro is making this round so much harder by giving a lot of entries in alley.
They've also got Taz and Neo quite a distance away from being able to rotate, so Neo's going to adjust that, head over towards Z connector. Good kill by Snacks to bring Zeus down, but Flamey again follows up. Pasha gone at Ivy. They can now split and open up the A site from within, but Snacks, crucial kill on C's. He's canceled out, but Neo's there. Finally again, the off from Neo, but it's dropped down. It's Flamey who's come out with all the kills, and look who else. It's Taz again in a 1-versus-1 situation, and not only that, the bomb is down and out of the reach of Guardian. Taz just needs to be so careful on his peaks as that first op shot rattles just to his left. And now he's gone for the AK as Guardian. I take that back. It was actually the AK that just bounced off. And Taz firing at a dead body, getting a little bit filled with adrenaline. Guardian again is going to be able to rotate to the inner bomb site, and this time Taz doesn't have the full awareness because he hasn't been able to spot up the cross as quickly. Guardian had the cover of the trains to work with. Now he knows it.
This is going to be a harder one for Taz.
Much harder. First time we've seen a bomb actually be planted in this situation for Taz now as he works back in, spots Guardian, and again, are you kidding me? Taz, I do have to pay royalties to Anders every time I say that, but this is absolutely insane that he clutches another huge, a 4th huge round for them.
Why was Guardian standing in the open though? I don't get it. He's given himself no cover there. He can't even gain the information and fall back and at least play the situation.
He must have thought he heard something towards the side somewhere.
He must have done. Like, it was a really bad position for him that didn't favor him at all. Like, we've got Taz. He can face that angle and then re-peek at his leisure. Guardian's so committed in that position. And Taz wins another clutch and keeps them in it. What a round that was to win. Taz, one of the best individual performances I think we've seen in a long time, just down to clutches, keeping the team alive at this stage.
Sitting at 28 and 18 as well.
This is brilliant. I mean, this is if one player has ever stepped up in an individual moment, this is it right now. It's not done just yet. We're on 13-14, and there are guns out for Na'Vi. And it's not, like I said, comfortable or out of the woods yet for Virtus.pro because these clutches mean that they've had to invest a lot every single round. In fact, Pasha left to just the CZ75. Flamey again toward Ivy. Pasha's going to be the one that has to duel him. Bialy needs to stay closer to Pasha because he doesn't have a rifle, which means Snacks doesn't have the same support system in the front of A's site. So this all has implications on how Na'Vi want to approach it. Instead, they're going to give up on that outside execution and put a little bit more pressure on who else? Taz and Neo on the inside site.
The bomb will be there as well. They've got a couple of smokes to play with, but they have been relying on the picks of Guardian. And I think the CTs are aware of that this time.
Molotov to slow anyone down ramp. There is one player who's gotten by it. It's seized. He doesn't have bomb, but he's down on the site. The bomb is still in the hands of Zeus, who's on 38 HP. No armor as well. As Snacks gets up that ladder and back down. Okay, he doesn't stick around and take the fight. He will be chased. Edward caught himself on the ladder on the way down. I'm not sure that was intended. Either way, Snacks gets that kill as well, and Na'Vi are going to find themselves potentially on a tie point, barring any miracles right now from Guardian's op and Zeus's AK.
Taz throws that Molotov.
No, look, all the way back in spawn. This is a full save.
Taz throwing that Molotov, stopping the push, getting that kill on the guy that actually got in this side. The rotation goes back. Snacks getting those 2 kills and round over. I mean, Taz's influence right now.
Put it into perspective as well for Taz as we watch this round conclude. 5 seconds left. If they go down after this, it's even worse for Na'Vi. Guardian hits one. He's down. Do they get the other? They know Zeus is in the corner. Gone.
Oh,
Money
that's
gone.
so
That's
huge.
even more huge for Virtus.pro as it's 14-14. But just to go back and finish the thought, Taz is on 29. His next best teammate is Snacks on 16. Actually, Pasha's on 17, as is Neo. But the kill distribution on the other side for Na'Vi, 26, 24, 22. A lot closer. It's Taz alone right now for Virtus.pro.
So Na'Vi had to make that decision now. What do they do with this round? Zeus on absolutely $0. He can't afford anything with this team dropping him a P250 out of courtesy more than anything else, I think. But this is a horrible round and horrible situation. All 5 players going towards the inside bomb site now.
Taz is there alone this time. Neo's going to get smoked out from that Z position, but Taz, he can be alone all he wants. He's done it all game. It's 2 for him. That's clutch as now Neo's able to rotate. He goes down afterwards, and Bialy finds another. Taz gets a little aggressive on Flamey, but Flamey, the last alive. It's match point Virtus.pro after being 12-3 at halftime.
Unbelievable scenes. We knew their CT side was good, but it's all come down to one man. Once again, he picks up 2 frags and pits himself on 31. Amazing stuff.
I come think of it, Na'Vi has got the first pick on majority of the rounds. Yep. Literally, on the majority of the rounds of the half, and still Virtus.pro has come up on top all most of them.
And not to mention, at the start of this half, it was Snacks, Neo, and Pasha that led the way for kills for Virtus.pro. Taz came from the very bottom to the very top in a brilliant fashion.
Well, now the last round comes to fruition. Na'Vi obviously need it. It's VP, a touching distance of maximum 2.
This can only be an overtime now.
It's the best case scenario. He comes in, Pasha does end up perishing on the spot.
It's pretty much what we've had every round. Normal thing. First pick for Na'Vi.
Taz alone again on B, but the pressure is still going to be applied onto A as Flamey's worked down that Ivy position. Bialy going to try and flash himself through, but he's got 2 players staring at him. He needs to hit one. He does only hit one. It could have been so much cleaner, but he clips the edge of the wall, and that allows C's to get the trade. Luckily, Snacks is up to the challenge as he'll take down Guardian. Taz gone, though. Zeus finding him opens up some options as it comes down to a 2 versus 2, and Neo and Snacks together need to play this so smart because they've got problems completely from opposite directions right now, and one of those problems, it just got a lot worse as Snacks looking for a full flank, trying to get a little bit clever here, working all the way through inner and back down to ladder. This will give him confirmation that it should be on the A site, but he's still going to have to play very smart when he arrives. 28 seconds left, bomb still not planted. Virtus.pro, or rather, excuse me, Na'Vi still checking every angle, knowing what this means. It's done or it's going to overtime, and the bomb in Edward's hands is slowly going to start to move into that train position. He's going to spot them, Snacks, but he goes down, Zeus, and we are going to overtime.
Wow, what a series this has been. Na'Vi digging deep just when it mattered most, taking it to overtime. But you got to say, VP definitely have the momentum going into this one. Na'Vi getting a convincing round there, opening frag once again, but definitely came down to a clutch situation, and Snacks got himself in a decent position there at the end. But this is going to be an amazing overtime. Na'Vi, of course, staying on the T side. It's going to be... Is it MR? Are we at MR5 in this?
MR5
okay.
in this, so there's a lot more chance for momentum swings.
Also, economy.
Edward's been a little bit quiet this evening as well. We've picked him as that player to highlight because we like to see a decent head-to-head with, similar situation and similar roles. But Pasha right now is winning that one, 17-19 versus 10-19 for Edward, as we see it here in the total graph. But once again, this is Taz that's just putting on a clinic.
And also in the best of 5, the economy. MR5 is the economy is a part of the game as well. So you got to be careful with your investments early on. If you go for the double ops, for example, your economy could be in shambles pretty quickly.
Well, that's been a problem for Navi now. Everything gets reset. They get full cash going into this first round at least. So Guardian has stepped up the last few rounds. He was definitely getting the opening pick. We discussed that was influential for Navi, but they actually weren't converting those rounds into victory. So the double AWP for VP and the AWP for Guardian. Will he be given the same amount of space to get those opening picks? That's yet to be seen. But here we go into overtime. What's already been an excellent map so far.
Keep in mind as well, you start with 16K in overtime with MR5, so a little bit more room for investment, but you still have to save toward the end of it if you don't pick up consecutive rounds. And it's a double op to start off. Pasha and Neo and Bialy already gone on this A site. Na'Vi, this is a lot faster than we saw in regulation. Teams switching things up so much when they get to overtime, and it does catch off the defense, but Taz is already quick on the flank, and his teammate in Pasha has already found a kill, but it goes against them immediately. Taz is canceled out by Guardian.
And Edwards has snuck inside as well.
Neo's got the same position. You're right, though. Edward has gone through CT spawn. He might be able to surprise Pasha, but Pasha looks the correct direction. Not able to react in time. So Neo 1-on-3. Another guy who we've seen in clutch situations over the last few evenings. Unfortunately, like Taz, he hasn't been able to close them. A chance here, though, as he drops the bomb down. Smoke will be deployed to his right, give him much better and cleaner chances as he only has one angle to cover, but a Molotov limits his movement, and it's doing damage. I don't know if he's aware it reached that far inside the smoke. It just clips the edge of his toe. He's down to 44 HP, and he's got 2 players that are doing absolutely everything to give their team the advantage. They haven't had it in a while. He hits that second shot again, but seized. They were coordinated. He was quick to the punch.
Much faster strategy there for Navi. We've seen him do very slow, methodical play throughout this series, and now they changed it up in the first round of overtime. Really good call from them. Got the opening frags. Surprised VP a little bit there, I think. Smoke's going out to key choke points as well, and this is where Edward snuck in the CT spawn and gets a very vital frag down onto Pasha. But more importantly, they take the first round. It's not grinding away that CT economy as they invest once again into the double orbs.
It's going to be Pasha that waits with the AWP at Ivy, and finally he wins that duel. That has been a point of contention for Virtus.pro. It has to be said, despite their success on the CT side. So this will give Bialy and Snacks, as we see now, more confidence to get forward in that A site, which gives them so much more control of the entry points from Na'Vi. Meanwhile, though, they have still managed to pick up a kill and make it now 2, doubly so, as Edward will drop down. I think that was Neo, the second kill. Either way, they've responded. Taz now taking down Flamey. It's left to seize 1-on-3. They may answer back immediately. Remember, we've got 5 rounds on each half in overtime, number 1. And there, seized will find Bialy. Gets focused firmly on main connector. Doesn't consider the fact that ladder's still exposed, but Pasha, who started off the round with an early pick, very important finally to win over Ivy, closes the round as well, 16-16.
So he finds that kill towards Ivy and really does secure the round. It does come down to a difficult situation. Sees great opening shot into that clutch there, but quickly shut down by Pasha in the end. So 16-16. Didn't see that fast play once again from Navi. I'd like to see them import that a couple more times. I think that will work out really well for them. Be a good way to shut down these orbs. But this time it's just going to be Neo. Pasha dropping his. Going to round number 3 of this overtime. And this is the aggressive push I suggested VP may be doing. They actually find the first flag on the Flamey there. Great adaptive play from them.
We haven't seen that in a while. Guardian, though, does find Neo, which puts Taz under pressure again, and it doesn't work out. He gets inside the smoke. We've seen him make that play work before. That nade doesn't go far enough to catch the 8 HP from Seized. So that still gives Na'Vi the man advantage. Snacks is now going to take over the duties of Taz and try and get close on that lower ramp. In fact, he's going to push through it, and Guardian, who has the op, is staring at upper. Snacks going to go right by him because he's in behind that wall. He lines up too. Snacks.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, he's managed to make it work, and Guardian doesn't even hit him. How does he get away from a guy like Guardian in that situation? Oh, Na'Vi are going to be lamenting the mistakes of this round, and Pasha may just be the nail in the coffin to bring this back Virtus.pro's way.
Oh, but one for the gag reel there. As he makes his way past Guardian, kills his 2 teammates.
It's Saving Private Ryan when Upham's too scared to pull the trigger, and the guy, I forget the fugitive's name they released, comes in and kills 2 teammates. Just the painful reaction of watching it happen. So Pasha now with his teammate Snacks. Have a player on either site. Guardian's going to work through Z connector. If he can divide them correctly with this AWP, mind you, he could hit the shots, but I think Snacks knows this and won't expose himself too much into that inner sight. So when he hears this bomb get planted, it's going to be planted in a way that he can just walk out and find, but not close it off the shot just yet. Remember, Guardian could have already killed Snacks if not for that slight miss on the ramp shot. And as such, Snacks comes back to haunt them. Not only that, he lets Snacks go by.
Yeah, time ticking away there, but that all comes down to that inside push of Snacks there. Unbelievable scenes. Guardian just not checking out the entire round. Let's just have a look here. This is actually from Guardian's point of view, and this is the shot. How much of a miss was it?
Oh,
millimeters away, but if he had got that kill, could have been around in their favor because it would have brought it down to a situation in their favor. But big, exciting stuff nonetheless. That was a moment you don't really see every day.
And how often do you see Snacks do that? Get in behind, just show up when you don't expect them.
It was just,
It's bad luck in a
matter of
lot of ways.
coincidence, right? So,
Yeah.
that's one of those things that just these just happen every now and often.
Yeah, the perfect storm.
And
Yeah.
Neo getting more aggressive with the AWP at lower, has Taz right there, the perfect 1-2 punch now for Virtus.pro, who not only have a lead by 1 round, they've taken a stranglehold on this 4th round of the first half of the first overtime in the second map of this series. Just to put
Any more
the
stats
full
there,
spin
Matt?
on it. Yeah, exactly. As Flamey's going to take down Pasha. It's left to 2 versus 4. Taz is tickled rather, down to 73. 60 now for Bialy. But Flamey and Seized are still heavily outnumbered and limited with movement. Flamey's going to stay toward Ivy, see what he can find. Seized going to take that bomb inner. Snacks is right underneath of him right now, in fact, as he's just gone above in those hallways. That'll push him more toward the ladder, but Neo's going to be waiting on the corner if he goes to the inner bomb site. Instead, he's going to take the ladder and hope that Flamey can find an opening from Ivy. See if they can win against Taz and Bialy to get this bomb down quickly, because Snacks has since left and gone to those hallways, so he's got a ways to rotate back, but thankfully Taz, not to be fooled, finds yet another kill. And another nifty little pop flash off a wall. Unfortunately, Flamey gets him this time, so it's still a 1 versus 2, and Flamey has 3 kills, 2 to go. If he pulls this off, it would be an ace clutch situation. As the flash comes out and Flamey pushes forward, he's not going to make it happen. Snacks will get that kill, and that'll do it.
So after that first initial round, we had that really great outside aggression from Navi. Got them the first round on the board. Ever since then, they slowed it right down again, going for the picks. And to be fair, they have been making them. A lot of rounds have been close, but
There are 4 AWPs out this round.
well, we remember what happened last time that happened on the grand final of the major. But the auto sniper being chucked in as well. And Edward.
It's the T-side auto sniper, too. It's not common you see that. See if he can utilize it. 16-18 last round of the first overtime. Remember, the T-side has been a struggle for both these teams, so there's still a chance for Na'Vi to claw their way back into things when we swap over. And we're getting that auto sniper into effect, and Na'Vi, they're going to completely obliterate that round. Zeus came close to dying, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and there was no grenade thrown. So 18-17 to swap it over. Have Na'Vi done just enough?
I think that's fair. Like 2 rounds out of 5, not bad. Could be better, but VP now. To be fair, that's actually really good considering how strong VP have been on that CT half. Getting 2 out of 5 is actually pretty strong for Navi.
It's
And
much better odds
For
than the
VP,
regulation.
I really want to see them do that fast yard push route.
yeah, that's the thing. Why didn't they do that once? It's so formidable from them. I guess it's well known that they do that, but when they unleash Pasha, that's one of my favorite strats watching him on. He seems to be able to hunt
But
out CTs wherever they are.
That's one of those things, even if you know it, it still works more often than not.
Yeah, I agree. So, well, maybe we'll see. We saw that very first fast round from Navi there. Maybe VP have got an ace up their sleeve as well. I'm saving it for overtime, perhaps. Here we go then. We're going to round 6 of overtime. And VP needing to find 3 here to close it out.
Seems easy in principle, does it not?
Let's see.
Principles don't necessarily apply to games like this. What a match it's been. And it does determine who takes the lead in this best of 5 which determines who qualifies for the LAN. Na'Vi again putting pressure toward this Ivy position. Virtus.pro, they've fallen off it, but need to be careful not to get caught on that fall. And the first player is spotted by Guardian's AWP, not collected. As such, Guardian will smoke himself away. Flamey's going to stay there, so if they readdress that thinking, all right, they've gone more passive, they've relaxed, they may get caught. Meanwhile, Zeus does get the first kill for Na'Vi, so Virtus.pro have to play from the back foot. And they haven't gone for that fast yard hit like you guys were suggesting. It's now going to be a more spread play, evenly across the map. Neo slowly working into that inner bomb site, checking every angle with the AWP, as his teammates still wait for the call and set up still potentially for an outer hit. And Neo's now going to watch that Z connector, and luckily he came away from the double scope because he wouldn't have spotted Seized down below, and Seized is actually going to get smoked up the ladder and into the hallways. Neo needs to be aware of this because his back is exposed. And luckily he does get around the corner before Seized can do any potential damage.
But so much information for Siege right now. He can call out an outer bush, as we can see from the radar. All the Sieges are rotating towards yard, so it's going to be a really tough one for Virtus.pro, with Siege also flanking.
Flanking is the name of the game, and with one member already down, Neo Taz is going to have problems because Seized is right above him. Does he get down the ladder? I'm not 100% sure yet. Taz gets the kill. There he is.
Hello.
Seized gets 3 to close that out. Talk about a flank. Talk about that information.
It's a really good spot there from Natty. Like, it was such a great timed push as well, getting in there just as the execution was coming in. Cleans up completely in the back. And it was actually a really nice opening round from Navi. You saw them pushing towards the Ivy area at the start.
Look at the patience.
Let's just
Oh,
enjoy
man,
this.
just line up 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
So satisfying. But yeah, they pushed that IB area, got some intel there. Not only managing to get a kill, but it allowed them to read what was going on the map. And it's a great opening round. We go into round number 7 now. No AWPs, full VP. Guardian, of course, picking up one.
And tied back
Here it
up.
comes.
The plow is real.
The first push in. Flamey to shut it down. It's Taz that drops. Pasha's still pushing forward. You said unleashed was the word he needed to do. The action that needed to apply, and he's already made his way to the bomb train, jumping over top of the flames. They've also got Neo on the site, Snacks as well, and Snacks manages to pick up Edward despite the Pasha has gone down to Guardian. Bombs planted for Virtus.pro, and this is crucial, but just caught by a nick. Just a millimeter spotted up. A mere pixel for Seas to shoot at is enough. So we're into 2 versus 2. Still a winnable situation for VP, and that flash, oh, that flash blinds up Flamey and not the intended target of Bialy, so now he stays alive and has to clutch this out. Bomb is planted in his favor. Time is ticking and working with him rather than against, as it is for Seized on 47 HP. And he's hunting and giving away, with the sound of an elephant steps, his position. His is a fake. He's off of it, and he's actually got the kill, but no time.
Bialy.
And it will go to Virtus.pro.
That was all Bialy. He got that kill on Guardian on CT Tower, and then get that kill on that 2-on-2 situation once that flash was through in quad. So that was all Bialy.
So we talked about that round. We wanted to see it. It finally happens, and it gets them a nice victory. The good thing about that is they're always guaranteed a plant that, it seems like, and they can produce a post-plant situation and a big clutch. Came down to a 1-on-1, but they managed to do it. Great post-plant situation. VP take the lead now, 19-18. We're going to round number 8.
Edwards stepping it up a little bit in these last few rounds in overtime as well. Picking up 6 kills since the start of overtime. He's now going to fall off the inner side. He leads the way, surpassed Taz yet again. 37 for him, 36 for Taz. But ultimately, stats don't matter, rounds apply. It's 1-0 in terms of who has the lead for Virtus.pro in maps played. It's 1-1 in the series, and it's a 1-round advantage for VP, who desperately want to close this out.
So you'd assume VP are going for an inside take here. The bomb is there, 3 players as well. The other guys just holding the flanks when he CT pushes. No real information gained, but Seized, Edward and Guardian waiting for them. They can smell this one coming.
He's going to creep up. Where's the flash in? It's not. He's going to just go solo, and he actually catches Neo with a grenade out. Is the response there? They actually take a lot of damage, but do get the kill. So it's 4 versus 4. Do they go? That's the better question. Smokes are in place, but there's 3 CT players that have already rotated. So Pasha going back to the ladder might actually dictate the round here. If he can get some information on the A side and a kill, there's a real chance they jump right into Edward, who I said had stepped up in overtime. Well, give him 3 more. He's almost reached his regulation total already, and he has. He's now sitting on 20 kills with 4 after that.
Yeah, really nice read from Navi there, having the players inside. We saw C's push towards upper. Like you said, Natty, after getting that first frag in such a high-pressure situation, everything on the wire, he needed to fall back there and just say, okay, there's players there, I've got one, let's stay alive, let's hold off for the push. We've wasted some time, but Edward's stepping up huge. Difficult position to be in, but he manages to find 3 kills. I think 4 as he closes out the round. 19-19, drawing things up, 2 rounds to go. AWP now coming out for VP. Neo's going to be the one wielding that.
And this round will determine who gets the first match point in overtime. As we are on round number 9. Neo's got his way inside the site, as is Bialy. Good smokes off on the quad position, and Neo's found the first kill. It's Flamey that drops. As Taz now finding Seized, quick this time to realize the flank is a potential problem. We've already seen that be the case, but Edward and Guardian getting back into this. Does Zeus spot Pasha, who climbs the ladder just in front? Take that back, it's Snacks, who's on the train, and he's got that bomb, but it's dropped, and Edward finds it again, who continues to step up, give Guardian the final 2. It's match point for Na'Vi.
And one more needed for them. First 21. And the race definitely does start now.
And keep in mind that Virtus.pro, despite all of their great late performances, have yet to have a match point. Na'Vi had it in regulation as well.
Well, we talked about the economy being ground down, and now Tech9 for Neo going into this potentially last round.
I lied. It was 15-14 for VP.
It was, yeah. I was going to say.
Thank you.
Come on, Matt.
I'm sorry.
Wake up.
There's been so many rounds. It's been so hard to keep track of. I love it. They've all been so close. Economy is a bit of a factor this late in overtime for Neo, unfortunately, as he is limited to the Tech9.
He wanted to make sure he had the grenades going into this round instead of the rifle, I think. So you could just assume a set piece coming out, maybe a full wall of smokes just to get a bomb down. From the setup they're currently presenting, I would say that is the case.
Or the fake that they do.
Or the
as well.
fake, that's actually a good call. That could work. That peeled them apart last time for Na'Vi.
Virtus.pro, pressure's on.
So silent.
The tension is building. It's mounting. Can you feel it?
And you got to think that Taz, his efforts have been brilliant, but they could all be in vain if they can't pick up this last single round. He's going to smoke off Sidewalk. That does actually pull Zeus further back to that Z hallway. So Seized and Edward and Zeus all on the inner site. If VP go now, they've got a chance, and they look to do so. Flashes and smokes all coming in on that A site. They've got quad and the bomb train smoked off accordingly. Slight gap at quad, though. If Guardian can find it fast enough with the AWP, there's a chance he'll catch them on the cross, but unfortunately Pasha's already made his way over. Watch for Seized on the flank. Bialy knows it's coming this time, so they are ready for it. Bomb down, and Taz with 1, make it 2. Sprays through the smoke. Edward found his welt. There it is. Seized dropped on the flank, and we are going to overtime number 2.
Wow, what a series this has been. Another 10 rounds to go. Double overtime, as you can see on your screen there. And of course, VP managed to find the round. We said the set piece was probably coming, judging by the way they were set up. They went in for it. And those are the simple rounds that seem to be getting VP stuff on the board, to be honest. The fast, simple execution outside got them their first round. And then that round, a simple play, get the bomb down, get the kills. You don't need to rely on the picks in that situation. So I think that's more we're going to see. Well, we're going to see more of that coming forward.
Honestly, neither team got nothing going on with their big pick strategies when they were just trying to go for the picks. Both teams should go for the set plays. Smokes, just go in the yard or fake or whatever. Just have a set play and go together as one wave instead of trying to get the picks. Seems to be the better plan.
C's catching up Taz. Taz hitting a 40 bomb. C's not far behind him, 38 kills.
That's a kill a round, by the way.
That's true.
Which in a game like this is pretty damn impressive.
Very. So here we go then. Na'Vi will be staying on the CT side. VP staying T. And having a look at the buy. I think they're just considering now what kind of rifles they should bring their Flamey yet to buy.
No double ops, please. Come on.
Let's see what they do. No, it's going to be
You don't
single either side. One for Neo, one for Guardian.
What's Pasha doing? There we go.
So they stay the side, they finish. Which means Virtus.pro goes on the attack first in this overtime. Forward pressure for Zeus. And yeah, this is the same as what we saw from Na'Vi with 4 out in the yard.
Yeah, Bialy already setting up for some kind of a smoke, so expecting some kind of smokes coming up on yard pretty soon.
Taz and Neo have got to the ladder, but Zeus is below it. They're going to push beyond this. So they're still hunting for information.
Look at
Edward's position.
Yep.
I was just going to say, he is inside this main connector, which means even if they want to execute on A with a split, they've got to deal with him first and foremost, which is so far forward of the bomb site that it could be problematic on rotations. Meanwhile, Zeus does get one good response. Snacks checks that, ready for it, and takes down Edward. Neo following up on Zeus does give Virtus.pro a chance now to work onto this outer site. As Neo waits, finds another. It sees down, and options are unlimited at this point because they've split the defense up, and they've doubled the total. It's 4 versus 2. Where do they head? Bialy has bomb. Snacks right behind him with Pasha. Looks like they'll go ladder. The other two, they'll head in the main connector. It's onto the yard they go. And smoke already deployed on that train, but key thing is that Flamey's above it. He's got vision over top of it. He's found 1 kill already and manages to evade himself into the corner, still alive, but eventually burned by Pasha. It's left to Guardian, who has an AWP in the first round of overtime. Yes, you start with 16K. Yes, it is overtime. But how likely does he figure his chances are here? So yeah, gone already. He's going to save it.
Burning Flamey. Isn't that ironic?
Well, there we go then. So like you said, we actually saw Neo going to the last round of the overtime with Tech9. So obviously economy is a factor, especially on CT. So I think this is a wise decision from Guardian. Make sure he saves that. But the picks really working out there for VP. Edward pushing into that main entrance, not being able to make anything of it. He was flushed out and taken down. And that's round number 1 going in favor of VP, and that's huge on the T side. Auto sniper now for Zeus. So, not a double AWP setup, but auto sniper on Zeus, AWP on Guardian. Now,
Poor Flamey. Apparently the name doesn't make him invincible to fire.
No.
that would be weird.
Wouldn't it? I'd just name myself Op. As speaking of an auto sniper coming out now for Zeus, this time it's going to be on the CT side, and he's going to get on top of the green train, fire down that alleyway in toward the main connector. Meanwhile, Snacks and Taz, looking at that ladder, knowing how probable that flank has been, are prepared for it, but Seized isn't there. It's Guardian on the inner site this time, and Seized is joining Edward on top of the bomb train. Meanwhile, Snacks has found Zeus, who's overexposed on top of the quad trains. And a kill on the outer site. Back up the ladder into safety just to make sure they still have control of those tunnels and they can still have options to work with.
Interesting way to die there so early on without any return frag as well. CT's finally reacting, getting some control of Pop Dog, but T's just slowing this right down, waiting for the reaction from the CTs is desperately needed. They need to find a kill to get themselves back into the round.
Guardian searching for something. Anything, in fact, with that AWP. He parkours his way back and forth to and fro inside that inner sight to see what information he can gather, because right now he's brought Flamey over, and that may not be the right call. Interesting that Neo waited that long to blow those windows out, because that might be indicative of the fact that they are going to throw some nades out on the A site. Regardless, Flamey's so far away, he won't be able to rotate back quite so quickly. Smokes go out to see under them. He does. Takes down Neo on the initial entry, and he still has line of sight on Taz, but can't collect them up because Taz wide peeks and get himself beyond the edge of that train, which soaks up the bullets and damage, but Edwards come around for the flank behind them. He's taken down by Snacks. Beautiful play, who found Seized before that. And unfortunately for Na'Vi, the round could have commenced that quickly, but concluded rather, but it is now a 2-on-1. Still in their favor, but with Snacks working with time and the bomb down, Flamey will finish things off by picking up his first kill in the round. And they respond, Na'Vi. It's 21-20.
I'm not sure if that flash, that smoke missed because of the Molotov was on there on the right side of the site. They were probably supposed to smoke off on both sides of the bomb site. But that enabled the fact that whoever was playing there from Na'Vi got that pick on Neo.
So clever to find Zeus there.
That's how
brilliant.
he died. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he gave away that kill, but that explains it a little bit more. So that's really clever play. The auto sniper getting shut down straight away, but now we're going to round number 3, 21-21. Na'Vi fight back. And the AWP getting close again, in the inside.
That's actually something that someone should highlight, because that's the first time I've seen that boost. That's brilliant.
It's done before, but not being very effective.
As successful, yeah. So bomb goes down for Virtus.pro as they've already made a quick entry onto this B site, but scoped in. Neo not prepared to have Edward show up on his right side, undetected, unsighted.
Passion
so the retake so far needs to be effective, and like you say, Pasha needs to be fast because he's not in that bomb site. He's going for the flank, and with Bialy now the last man alive, if Pasha doesn't make this work, they're going to have the site and they're going to get it. And in fact, I called it was 21-20. That's because when the bomb's defused, obviously you've got to wait for the next round for the score to update. So that means Na'Vi actually, in fact, take the lead heading into the next round.
Yep, so a pretty simple inside take there. With VP getting the opening frag off the Guardian, you'd expect them to swarm the side and win that one. But another excellent retake from Na'Vi, clawing on. 22-21 now. 2 rounds to go. And we enter round number 4. We can see the double AWP set up. Pasha and Neo are going to be running that time. A change of pace for them. That suggests the set pieces won't be so viable now. They need to make sure they'll be working the picks very heavily. Maybe sending one towards Ivy, one towards the inside side, just holding for pushes. Obviously everything on the line now. The CT aggression coming in once again to Ivy, boosting up. It's going to be Flamey waiting. Top of the smoke there.
Pasha working toward Ivy. Watch that boost. He's actually reading this correctly.
Yep.
Needs to jump up and just hits that shot. 6 HP. That is so tough when you get to that dumpster because it really is right on the cusp of being too far in the way. As it gives an even situation, but HP so grim right now for Pasha on only 6. What a match we've got right now as we head into the 4th round. Already deep into it, in fact, as we pass the 1-minute mark, and that means they're looking to try and get this bomb in on the outer site. Finding and spotting up 2, but not finding the kills. Taz eventually does take down Edward. Watch for Zeus. He's rotating out from Ivy. He's going to come in for the main connector. Pasha, I think, just heard him coming. He's looking for it, but Pasha, again, so low on HP. Does he find the kill? He does. Zeus had no idea, and AWP would be staring him down. And now there's a real chance for Virtus.pro in the post plant 4 versus 2 to wrap up this round and get their 2nd on the T side. That's been the total for both teams so far.
Yeah, we talked about the picking being important there. Flamey, advantageous position for him, and he got a lot of damage off as well, but Pasha flicking up, taking down his head, and that was pivotal here. I think we'll probably have a quick look. Actually, he's going to be the snacks. Hold on the side there. Obviously, a couple of big frags for him as well, just to close that round out. That's huge for VP. As we go into the final round of this overtime.
This is interesting. Final round 2, so they're going to use maximum economy. They'll take the op up to pick, and then once they get the opening pick, switch to the AK for the execution. This is kind of nifty from Virtus.pro.
You see the economy affected quite heavily on the CT side now. Siege has been a very big player in the inside site. Just with a 5-7 there, waiting. No smoke or Molotov to play with either.
Picture-in-picture shows Siege with that pistol up close. He's flashed up. Neo may not be able to spot. Neo needs to be careful and somehow reads that correctly. Brilliantly.
And Flamey was being careless on yard as well, just gave out a free kill to Snacks.
Neo's awareness there was spot on. So now it's a 1-man advantage, as you said. Just Flamey a little bit careless. Snacks does eventually go down, but they've got control at least of the initial entry on this inner site. And with Zeus, Edward, and Guardian all sucked in by Bialy, they've got it. They can put the bomb down and they can push forward as Neo's doing to make sure those rotations don't have as much of an effect. Zeus is going to head to ladder as well, and that means he's got to contend with Bialy, and there it is. Neo doesn't even allow them in, neither does Bialy. Very forward defense positions, and it's left to Guardian who's coming through CT. He's gone as well. Very, very well done from Virtus.pro, who take the lead on the T side.
Yeah, 3-2 this time around, so it's looking very good for Virtus.pro at this point.
I wasn't a big fan of the CT setup in that last round. When you've got one player on the pistol, you probably want him having some backup, causing distraction for other people, leaving him to anchor that inside site. Difficult play. I'd prefer to have Guardian pushed up aggressively at the upper ramp, at least facing down, getting info, trying to get that one kill on the board. Like, what was Siege ever going to do there? Just waiting to die, and then we saw Neo just pick him apart, like you said, Matt. Just saw him through the smoke, just about nade, then a shot onto the chest. But like you said, this is very strong for VP, winning the half on the overtime out of 3 out of 5 rounds. That's huge, and we know how strong they can be on the CT side. So Navi definitely need to open up this first round with a victory. We saw them do the very fast execute last time. Whether they can rely on that again is yet to be seen. But
we see that, and we mentioned it, that both coaches are in the server or not to. At this point, as a coach, do they even have any input, or are they just in mesmerization like we are that this has gone so far?
To be honest with you, when it goes to like double or in overtime or double overtime, it all becomes a mind game. You just try to play very simple strategies, really, and like overthinking things is actually going to be just for the worse. So keep it simple.
Basically just keep it spectators.
Keep it simple, stupid. It's a pretty good phrase to have at that point.
I had a guy on my hockey team once who told me a great story about that. A teacher wrote it on his test, and he said, "What's KISS mean?" And he said, "Keep it simple, stupid." And he started crying.
Was this person you?
No, but it sounds like a story that could be me.
That old one.
That was a great round from C's. That was the first time they made the flank work in the first overtime, and every ensuing round they had either Bialy or Pasha watch for it because obviously it tore things apart that time.
Yeah, just a nice highlight. So this game has been full of big moments, individual plays. Taz in regulation time going absolutely massive in those clutch situations. C's has been playing out of his mind as well. So big individual plays. Guardian stepped it up towards the end as well there. All picks all over the place. 2 there in that round. We're just waiting to kick things off now.
Edward's gone from 10 kills at the end of regulation to 27 as well in overtime.
He actually had some really big moments on the inside side, especially waiting in there on the lower ramp, taking out four big picks, especially when Guardian got taken down.
Yeah, look, our matchup's back to even first time all night because Pasha was leading that until now. See, we knew it would be a good matchup in the end.
It's perfect. Look how close that is. So one death within it. So yeah, that was a great call. So this is we're just waiting for Zeus, I think, and probably talking to his team, trying to work out what they can do going to the T side. Obviously, the odds stacked against him here. when you go into the T side, knowing you have to win 4 rounds to win, I don't think wins on the agenda right now. I'll just be trying to hold on, get those 3 locked in. It's going to be such an uphill struggle for them. I'm not really sure what I could suggest to actually get back into this, but you do have to put all your eggs into the VP basket right now.
Yeah, and at this point, obviously, Taz in regulation is ultimately the reason we're in these overtime situations. You can't take that away from him, but everyone in a match this long has had a moment of brilliance and a moment to step up.
Well, here we go then. Looks like we are ready for the second and possible last half of overtime here. Like I said, VP definitely going into being the favors going into this one.
45 rounds already played.
I think they're having a bit of EBOT problems right now.
Well, Ebot's probably exhausted.
Yeah. They can't take any more information.
Yeah.
Too much
exactly.
data.
I should join a team and tell Taz we are not waiting for the casters.
I just wrote, hey, come on.
I don't know if they can see that, though. Can they right now at halftime?
I don't know.
Oh, apparently he can. All right, let's have fun.
Uh-oh. Setard.
Apparently I can't type.
Setard.
It's supposed to be sweetheart.
Would have been funny, but you ruined it.
I did ruin it. I didn't know they could see us at the halftime when we're in the spec slot. Well, we'll wait a little farther. In fact, I can't remember what the round set for EBOT is in most default situations. I know we had the 69 overtime, or 69 round, 69 overtime.
It
Jesus,
should
could you
run
imagine?
like all the
yeah,
way
it should,
until
because
the
in the
match
69
stops,
round game, I was going to say
basically.
it did actually run nonstop.
Yep.
And that was actually PGL Finals with Envy versus NIP at the time. So obviously this is something abnormal, but we'll get it fixed up.
Oh, yeah, Dust 2, right? Wasn't it?
Was Dust 2. Yeah, and it actually swayed the series because that was one of the only series that NIP took off Envious in recent history, simply due to the fact that I basically said if Envious don't win this and close the series, they're going to be so exhausted that NIP could get a walk in the third map, and that was what basically happened. Envy just looked exhausted after that, and that was one of the first tournaments where Envy started to fall apart within and that led to the roster changes. That was one of the first times that they went out early. They were actually the first and finished 4th out of the 4 teams that LAN. First times that they'd had issues with that lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. What else can I say? That happened. I was there.
You were there on the desk with 2 very vocal people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For the better.
It's a battle with those guys.
So, we are waiting for...
Thank you for pulling us back.
Yeah, well, that weird story. Don't know where that was going, but we are waiting for the second half of potentially this final overtime here. If you have just joined us, this is the second map, right?
We also saw an overtime on Train earlier this season in the North American qualifier. So it's not the first time we've seen overtime in this league this year, and it's not the first time on Train. So Train's looking to be fairly even considering how people thought it might play out initially.
Like we said, some big individual plays here. People stepping up all over the place. I think Taz has to be the MVP for just how
at this point, no question.
how deep he had to dig. Sorry.
Yeah.
And some of that regulation time. I don't think VP would have been here with some of the clutches he actually pulled off.
Exactly. This wouldn't.
You could make a Taz highlight video just from this game. Like, I'm sure people odd shot of the first one. It's probably that one with Guardian putting the 2 shots to the electrical box. I'm sure if I looked on Reddit, that's already there. You could make an odd shot for a second one, which could go front page Reddit. You could make an odd bot for his third. Eventually, the whole page is going to just be, all of Reddit is just going to be Taz clutches. Someone needs to make a video just out of all of them because they were incredible.
One that stands out for me as well is the snacks round when he pushed the lower ramp.
That one was great.
Got past Guardian somehow, killed 2 in the back, and then somehow bunny hops out of the room. And that was a crazy clip. That's definitely going to be up there, I think. There's so many good moments here. It's been a really fun game to cast, actually. And we are just waiting on, I think, a slight technical issue with the bot. But hopefully it wouldn't be too long. We want to keep the hype flowing strong, right?
Absolutely.
Don't want to have too long of a break. Want to keep that excitement there.
Yeah, no, this has been actually one of the better games I've had the pleasure of casting in a while, I would say. I mean, I've seen some close matches. ESL, NA qualifiers were fairly one-sided, but there was still some decent matches among the, obviously not Cloud9 and CLG. They went through effectively unbeaten, but the Elevate games were decent with Mythic, and we've had a few games in this series so far in the qualifiers that weren't too bad, but this has been by far the best in the last few months that I've seen. This has been an absolutely awesome matchup, I have to say.
Yeah, talk about a back and forth match, right?
That's what I was about to say. We talked about this being such a 50-50 call, difficult to see where it's going. VP looking pretty formidable in the first map, but now it's difficult to separate these 2 teams as we go into the end of the second overtime.
Do we think that getting that extra round, the third round this time for VP on T. Is that enough? Because both in the first overtime, they both picked up 2 rounds on T side.
I feel like it's going to get overly harder all the time on the T side when the overtimes drag on. And considering how strong Virtus.pro is on the CT side, usually on train, I feel that this is going to be it.
This is the whole thing as well. You have to remember this is the T side. They got those 3 rounds on, and it's going to be not, like I said, winning's not going to be on Navi's agenda right now. It's just going to be trying to neutralize the situation. They know how hard this is going to be.
Is there any possibility that this pause hinders anyone? Does it take that momentum away from VP?
Well, they'll take away a little bit of the hype, I guess. And they would have been so excited and maybe potentially a little bit frustrated now having to wait to go into this second overtime. But I don't think it's going to hinder anyone. I think VP will still feel very confident, right? It's not going to go in with any different mindsets, really. The hype might have died down a little bit.
Those guys have enough experience to get over any kind of a situation, so I don't think it's really going to have an effect on them at all.
I think you're right. Well,
we're almost ready.
Let's try and predict when we're trying to waste a little bit more time. So we saw Navi on their first opening round of overtime. They did that very fast execute on the outside bomb side, right? We haven't seen either team really do that much. VP did it once in overtime as well. It worked out perfectly for them. Me and Natty were calling for it. It finally comes. They actually win that round as well. Navi did it on their first round. They won with it. We haven't seen that much of that play. I'd like to see more fast set pieces like that, just when you're doing the running set smokes, getting out there together and causing big situations, one-on-one duels that really define the round. They're really exciting to watch.
Absolutely. Well, again, we've already kind of touched on the fact and made a bit of a prediction that we think the additional round for Virtus.pro on this T side could be enough to carry them over it. Obviously, economically, it's not as much of a factor. There's no pistol round spread in overtime. You've got 16K to start out with when you swap over. And the defensive side tonight has been the story. It's been quite impressive. In fact, if you look at percentage-wise, you split halves in overtime 3-2, and you're splitting halves in regulation 12-3. It's better percentages so far in overtime for the T-sided team.
All right. Looking like...
Nope. Don't get too excited.
I like that someone got a noise complaint from the hype in this game. Hopefully you live in a fairly forgiving city. I know where I live, in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I live, it's all university students. And when noise complaints come in, because it's often parties and it happens so frequently, there's no remorse. Like, they show up, $1,200 fine, instantly, done.
Where's this, sorry?
In Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Where's that?
Canada.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They'll give you one warning.
I didn't know you were from Canada.
If you're a cute girl, but otherwise it's just, there you go.
Let's not get this again. Let's get this match going.
I'm glad you know my anthem because I don't know yours.
Do you know mine?
See?
No. Yes, yours is. Yeah.
It's the best one in a way.
Yeah, I've heard it a lot lately, unfortunately, because Lewis Hamilton's been winning. Kind of sucks.
Not a fan?
I'd sooner hear the Spanish national anthem in that case.
Please sing it for us now.
I can't sing it. I just would rather hear it. That's what I said.
Fair enough.
Forza Alonso. Well, it looks like the server's actually, I'm just checking now because I'm still in here. It has reset and restarted. That doesn't necessarily mean we'll get right back underway. We'll see if the issues have resolved. We've called for the unpause. So, sounds like production's on it. We've just been told everyone's joining back into their correct slots. So this could be it. I mean, let's look at the implications on the series rather than the game itself.
Sure.
I still maintain that if Virtus.pro could take Inferno, they did. They could take Train. I said that then Na'Vi would still win it out. You guys actually went with Virtus.pro picking this up. How big is this game if they don't? If Na'Vi get away with it?
Well, if Na'Vi takes this, then I see still Virtus.pro is going to take Mirage, and then it's going to go down to Overpass.
Overpass is last, right?
I think Na'Vi is going to take it then if that happens.
I think that's a fair assessment. Mirage, I do kind of favour slightly towards VP, but judging by the way this has gone, we predicted VP running away with this one completely. Yep. After losing the first half 12-3, you have to question yourself, have Na'Vi kind of worked out what's going on, but a great comeback from VP there. Like, after losing the first round, the first half, 12-3, and being able to come back and take it to overtime, that just shows you what a world-class team they are, and what they're capable of bringing to the table. Now we're into the second overtime here. It's been an amazing game to watch so far.
It has been quite spectacular. First game was a far cry from where we are in this one, considering it was 16-6. It does feel like a long time ago. It's crazy how one game, I mean, ultimately we could be done game 3 by now if these games go quick enough. Instead, this one game takes up so much time from the series. I do really think that if Na'Vi pick this up, then it has to be their series to win. So Virtus.pro are really fighting in this game to not only take a 2-1 lead, but keep themselves in good chances here.
If you're making an educated guess, they are going to win this, judging by the 3 rounds they have on the T side. Like I said, Na'Vi going to be not even thinking about winning this, just want to be neutralizing it, getting the 3 rounds, which I don't think they can do considering what we've seen so far. They have been good at getting the opening frags. Guardian has been instrumental getting the first AWP pick, but that hasn't been converting into a lot of round wins. So I'm not really sure what the protocol is here. Nata used to mention making very simple plays, fast plays, set pieces. I'd like to see more of that from them instead of relying on those picks, just because when they get that first pick, they don't seem to utilize it correctly. They're not actually executing properly in that situation. Just a fast set piece, get the bomb down, and then rely on your individual skill to carry you through. I think that's going to be a better approach for them if they need to get their 3 rounds on the board.
And again, we talked about the fast executions, mostly been out at the outer side. The heat map tonight, I think, is going to be fully lit. I don't even know if we'll get information from it based on how many
rains
we
it's going to be a big red blob everywhere.
There's actually going to be there's going to be so much bloodshed on this heat map that it's actually going to expand beyond it. There's going to be kills off the map just because it's going to run out of space. I'm pretty sure there's going to be kills everywhere. There may still be some differences, more specifically with how Taz has played at the B site, seized such. They haven't got as many kills in the hallways so much as on the entries into the B site, but that might be the only difference so far.
Yeah, at least a lot of kills for Na'Vi in Alley, because they got a lot of kills there early, first kills towards Pasha mostly.
Yeah, that's correct, actually. So we saw a lot of Ivy aggression from them, pushing up, facing down to T-spawn. Not coming to so much fruition in terms of kills, maybe, but they gained a lot of information by doing that. And it's just having a look at the chat. I think we may be ready very soon. I can see an exchange of chat going on. They're saying that they will potentially be going ahead without E-bot and just going raw.
Going raw. Old school indeed. Well, it's pretty easy to start, and it's not like we're at a mid-round situation. That's the fortunate part. It's 16K, it's 5 rounds.
That's
they
right.
can manually control it from this point on. They might just have to take a pen and paper and keep track of money in case something further happens. But, again, it's not like we're in the middle of a half and without the knowledge. It's pretty straightforward to do that at this point, so that's the good news.
It's a very sensible point, Matthew. Thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome, Henry G.
That's why he's here.
That's kind of why I'm here. And that's more why you're here.
Is it?
Well, it's why we're both here.
Well, that's what's going to be.
So what does that leave me then?
You're the comedy. You're the comic
Exactly.
relief. You bring in those guys. I remember you said that one joke before we laughed. What was that? There was a joke somewhere.
One joke. I was going to say you're more like the elder statesman. You're the guy that keeps us both in line, like the father figure. You are a father.
True.
Expecting more soon.
Let's not get into that.
No, we're not getting into that. Excited? Come on, you're excited.
All right, so we get a match here coming up next.
Matthew, aren't you? I know you want to.
No. All right. Let's move along. Let's get this game going. Come on. Someone fix this situation now until we get into more awkward territory of this conversation.
You can actually, like, if you want to stick with Matthew, I'll give you my middle names, too. You can just name him Sadokist. It's like it's totally a sound like a name.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like his parents really love him if he's called Sadokist. Let's be real here.
I would say his parents hate him if they called him that.
That's
If you get called that, I would say that's probably.
They'd probably hate him if they named him after me in general. Let's be real here.
So the map is restarting now. Just to give you a quick update. I know people are probably getting a bit annoyed with this banter, if you will call it that. But the map's being restarted, and hopefully we'll just be going without E-bot, and we've got to start very soon. Slight technical issue.
So the way it will start, because we have to restart that. 16K for everyone, we mentioned that, but the score at the top will stay 0-0. So keeping track of the fact that it is 23 for Virtus.pro, 22 for Na'Vi. Match point in this case is, what would it be? Would they need 5 rounds? They need 6, they need another 3, so 26 is match
4
point.
to win, and 3 to...
right, so
that's what you should just even bear in mind going into this instead of...
that's right. So 26 would be the total, but that's actually right. That's a much easier way to keep track of it. So 3 for Virtus.pro would win it, 4 for Na'Vi would win it. And if it obviously hits 3-2, then that means, and 3 for Na'Vi, then that means we hit another overtime. That's the only situation that would mean we go further.
So one of the players, Navi, now walked away from the PC, so you will be listening to our conversation for a little bit longer.
I did see Starix ask to see if they could have a small break, so I don't know if that's what's coming into this.
So just anyone who's just joined us.
Unfortunate that this has happened because E-bot, it's out of our control because it's such a great game and it kind of does slow the momentum down a little bit. But I can't imagine that the pace of the action will be changed at all.
As soon as we go live again, you'll forget all about this.
Exactly.
The hype will go back to epic levels that it was at. Just to remind you, this is the grand final now, the first group. Whoever wins this does get an automatic spot into the LAN. The loser not completely out of it. There is a last chance qualifier.
Which already has the likes of Kingwood and TSM in it, so it's
So
not like that's an easy rite
It's
of
definitely
passage.
a frustrating loss. Like, you're not out of the tournament yet, but it definitely sets you up for a lot more work.
Here we go. Time to get back into it. Na'Vi Virtus.pro, it is double overtime. The second half of, oh dear me, please say it ain't so.
Oh dear. Just as the hype level rising again, just about to burst a thermometer,
I was waiting
it
to
kind of
build it
goes
back
ice cold
up.
again.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Back
back
in the
to
room.
our lovely faces. It is what I was going to say. Going to be potentially VPs to win. Well, let's just cool it back down so we can build it back up again.
oh,
I used
that's.
to do that when I was a kid. All day long in class.
We've talked all day long about the game now. What do you want to talk about? What can we bring to the table here? You're the host. Hold this together.
What name are you thinking of?
Oh, for God's
No,
sake.
no, we're not going down that road now.
I mean, there's not much really to say. Obviously, that this match gets underway. We talked a little bit about that last chance qualifier. Last year, 2 teams made it out of the last chance qualifier. So what they did was Fnatic and NIP at the time were the immediate runners-up. So what they did is played with an immediate best of 5 between the 2 runners-up. So the last chance qualifier started off with a final already, an upper bracket already. Everyone else was effectively in a lower bracket. NIP beat Fnatic in that best of 5. They were the 3rd team in, but Fnatic then made it through with a second chance in the last chance qualifier. So a last chance, if you will. So 2 teams made it out of that. This year it's only 1 because of the U.S. group, which does mean now with TSM, Kingwin, one of these 2 teams and an entire other EU group to come up, there's nothing. There's no safe bet on who's going to make it to the LAN if they don't win this game right now. So there's a lot to play for right here.
Well, I think that's enough talking for now. We're going to take a very quick break, I think.
I thought I was the host. All right.
Well, I think I need to hold this together. Someone needs to work out what's going on. We're going to go to a very quick break. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back very shortly as we go into the second overtime, the final half.
All right, guys, we are finally ready. I had to do some server adjustments, obviously. That's what we were waiting for, but here we go. It's going to be the second half of double overtime. Score is, for those of you who want to keep track, 23-22, but like you said, Henry, it's much easier to keep track of if you just remember that VP need 3 and Na'Vi need 4 to win.
Yep. So looks like everything's ready to go. We won't be going to V-Ball here, so you won't see the total score on your screen there, but like Matt said, that's what you need to keep in mind. So Na'Vi will be starting on the T side here. VP getting 3 rounds on their half of T. So Na'Vi desperately trying to hold on here. Odds stacked against them. So we finally go back in here. We are ready to rumble. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's going to be as good as it was. I'm sure these guys have played an absolutely fantastic match. Taz obviously has been the man that stepped up the most, but there's been moments of brilliance for everyone. Single op out on either side. Guardian, he's going to be holding one. The other, it's in the hands of Neo, who's been the dedicated opper, although we've seen Snacks with it a lot this evening. Taz, again, just so good at this B site. Takes an alternate approach. He's getting aggressive, and he knows he's heard Zeus, but does he spot him? He does. Up on top of the railing, down he goes, and away from the action. Taz will fall back into safety after getting the initial pick. 66 HP as well as he keeps that, but look at the pressure from Na'Vi. 3 out toward Ivy right now.
Yeah, Pash is not playing Ivy at all. He's on the bomb train watching towards there.
Watch Neo, though, because he's now pushing up at those hallways. He could find Edward, who's still trying to do battle with Taz, but before that happens, we're going to have action on that outer position, that Ivy position we talked about, and that's going to favor Virtus.pro because Bialy's got Guardian, who was the only one to pick up a kill. And as mentioned off screen, we did see Neo actually finding Edward, so it leaves just Flamey and Seized.
Let's look at the bomb as well. So Flamey finding a pick on Snacks, but they haven't got any bomb to play with here. Seized's having to go back and find that 3-on-2 situation. You do favor VP here as Taz does take down Flamey. And now more to play for. Seized has got the bomb now, making his way to the inside site. Neo aware of this, though, and Taz repositions himself.
Looking very good for Virtus.pro. And Taz, this is, man, from this point, that exact angle, when they run in and think they're safety, it's like this confidence of, yes, I'm on the site. And then Taz is always right there on that angle to shut them down. That's one of the 3 Virtus.pro need. It's now 24-22. 2 to go for Virtus.pro.
So Taz once again, pushing that inside bomb site over the smoke, getting the first frag. So important in these sort of situations. Opening up the round for his team, falling back, staying alive. Stellar play from him.
And the fact that there was no alley presence from VP really played in their favor because Na'Vi was there with 3 people, not able to get an early pick, having to fully commit before getting anything going on for them.
And you said it, there was 3 people. There's 3 people again for Na'Vi who are taking the same approach. This time the bomb is with them. It's in the hands of Seized. So we see him just in the foreground of shot, along with Flamey, who is taking shots. Through the smoke they'll go. Seized is in, but not all the way down the hallway. He's got Pasha in front of him, and he finds that opening pick. This is crucial because now Bialy has to fall into hell, and Neo needs to fall back into the site. Much more passive, and Na'Vi, they've now got control of the yard. Still not in a position to get the bomb planted, and Snacks might prevent that as he picks up the first kill, but Neo dropping to Flamey means it's now a 4 versus 2 in favor of Na'Vi. That situation almost comes back to favor them, but it's down to Taz again. How fitting as he picks up 1 out of 3 and still 2 to go. Bomb planted, smoked off. I think he'll go straight through this because he's close enough, and he takes down Flamey. Taz, this could be his 5th absolutely huge clutch, and not only that, it would put them on match point this time in double overtime. Spotting up Guardian already. Damage coming in though. Taz on 22, and Guardian with M4s is at 100, and that's how it will end. 1-1 since we've resumed, 24-23 overall.
This time Na'Vi got what they exactly what they wanted to see, is managing to get that first pick and then committing towards from Ivy when they get that pick and then getting the second kill, the quad as well. Really big plays and just opening up that whole defense with that.
You can see that replaying on your screen right now. C's getting 2 great AK headshots as he makes his way out of Ivy. Really did open the round. Came down to 1-on-1 in the end, but Taz this time unable to clutch that one. Na'Vi get one of the 3 they need on the board.
Pasha's in on Snacks again, who they take a much more passive approach on this A site. Pasha will continue to put his attention toward Ivy. This time there is, again, 3 players from Na'Vi, but only 2 of them really putting pressure forward. Edward just lagging behind slightly. Taz solo on that B site. Neo now going to join him through that Z connector, but watch for a ladder split. Or do Guardian and Zeus actually want to put pressure on that inner site? See if they can get a pick on Taz. Down through Ivy they go. This will be the main point of contention as Guardian still lurking things on that inner bomb site. Watch for Pasha because him and Bialy need to set up this crossfire, but Na'Vi are going to utilize smoke perfectly, so Pasha will do the same in return. It does mean Bialy is isolated from the play, but the pop flash from Pasha, it does blind up too, and he's going to make no mistake on them as they cover their eyes and pull a Jordan Gilbert nothing and try and dance around. Doesn't matter. The shots come in. Luckily, Guardians resumed it and pulled it back to a 3 versus 3 as he does find Snacks. Bialy, though, was the only man that didn't get in on the action who we knew was close by, and that means he's still alive in hell as Neo will take down Zeus. Watch for Guardian, though, as he continues to try and wreak havoc upon this outer site. Bialy with the pop flash. Guardian dodges it. Does Bialy get above it? He's not able to get tagged down on the ladder, but once he hits the ground, the hitboxes go back to normal. Guardian does land the shot. And not only that, they've lost Neo. It's down to Taz yet again. 1 versus 2. You have to say, the first clutches worked in his favor and were magnificent, but you can't rely on that all evening, or can you? No, Guardian again, as it does come into those 2 players, brings it back now to 2-1, 24-24.
Really exciting scenes there. The rounds are so back and forth. We saw Pasha opening up, perfectly timed pop flash from him. Look how well this was placed. Runs around. He does overcommit to the angle a little bit, but it's more than justified. Taking down 2 frags there. A great play by him, but Guardian, 3 kills, neutralizes the 1-on-1 once again. Taz unable to find that form. We saw regulation time.
Bye-bye, birdie. Taz going to get aggressive. Look to the inner site. Solo again this time, so his own flash, his own smoke. Snacks is up underneath the ladder. This means Bialy needs to get the shot, and that is timing is everything, as Guardian will win that duel. Bialy can do nothing about getting the trade kill, so again, Na'Vi have the early advantage. And potentially could be the first team on to match point yet again. If Virtus.pro don't win this round, it will be Na'Vi, who sit on 25. 26, the limit. As Pasha will flash through, bouncing to his right. Does he get taken down from spray in return? And he tries to turn back and do damage. Hits C's down to 28, but as he was on top of the dumpster and not on the ground, the rest of the shots go just slightly too low. Does bring it back just a little bit, though, for Virtus.pro. Seized with the bomb, is taking it back toward his own spawn into the main connecting area. Zeus still at the bottom of that ladder, going to check every angle as Bialy sits inside quad. If he can control that area, he will slow down the push. Pasha getting 1 kill at Alley, but goes down to Flamey. Means Bialy's got to come up huge, and he's only going to get 1 and then get traded. So still favoring Na'Vi as they work in on top of the site. 3 versus 2, and they need Neo to step up with this AWP right now. It's he and Taz against 3. Seized getting in position to try and get this bomb plant down. He's going to stick this as Guardian watches, but switches guns at the exact wrong moment. That allows Neo to pick up the kill on Flamey. Luckily, Seized answers the call, but that does mean now that Taz and Guardian, for the 3rd straight round, find themselves in a 1 versus 1. And for the 3rd straight time, bomb is planted. They're both going to go up the ladder, and they both spot each other and go back down. And finally, Taz will pick up yet another one and the defuse.
Wow.
We are tied back, or take that back. We're on 25-24. It's match point Virtus.pro this time.
Oh my days, another one-on-one clutch, and this time Taz prevails. Excellent play from him, managing to outsmart Guardian at the end there, but really exciting round. Guardian getting the opening pick. Once again, we saw one of the CD players caught their pants down there towards a pop dog, but this really is the series we wanted here. We go into the final round of overtime. Navi now need 1 to hold on. VP need this to actually win the map, so it all comes down to this moment.
3 rounds in a row, it's been Guardian versus Taz. To close it off, talk about late game heroics, as it is now match point for Virtus.pro. This is the last round of overtime. Overtime number 2, regardless. If Navi picked this up, we head to overtime number 3, which does mean we'll have to do some rigging of the server. Fortunately, everyone starts 16K, easy enough to manage. Flash is already coming down through Ivy. Pasha, more passive angle this time, further into the back hallway.
And look at Edward. He's scraping way up quad right now.
Not only that, they've killed off Snacks, which means Bialy now has a lot of pressure on him. He's playing ladder. There's no one at quad, which means Neo's got to come over to the A site early and help out Pasha, who's smoked and isolated off in that back hallway, allowing Edward, as you've mentioned, to get all the way up to hell. That's where he's going to find an easy shot on Neo because they have no compensation for this play. They weren't expecting his presence. And although Pasha can get 1, it puts himself in the open to get exposed by Flamey, who comes right back into it. 2 versus 4 as Taz will rotate over again. Na'Vi in the driver's seat, trying to force out another overtime. Taz doesn't want that fight. He wants this one, and that's the one against C's down quad. That is favorable to him, but he almost gets caught with a nade out, and he's the last one alive now. 1 versus 3 again for Taz, who manages to get the first kill. Spots up again where Guardian's playing, as we could see another one-on-one between the two. Bomb, meanwhile, is heading to the B site, and Taz, I think, is aware of it. He's going to ignore Guardian, but watch for Guardian. If he's on top of the train to shoot through Z, he's not in position. It allows now Taz to put pressure on Zeus. Bouncing the nade, it does do damage. Zeus down to just 28. HP combined doesn't equal what Taz has, but positional advantage is an absolute threat right now when Taz, with his back exposed and blinded up, needs to be aware they're both coming not from the direction he's looking, but in the upper hallways. Is he just going to try and stick this? It would be a desperate play. Flashbang out as well. He's on it, and he's on an off angle. It's down to 3, 2. Where's the shot? 1 does Taz.
Oh my God.
What are you? Oh my goodness gracious. Taz has 6 clutches in this match, and maybe none more important than that individual play. That is insane that Na'Vi allow that to happen.
Can you believe it? How is he playing like this? What a play to finish it on the last round of overtime as well, to clinch the map for VP. Amazing scenes there. I didn't think he had a chance whatsoever. I thought smoking off upper would have been a logical play.
It was
play,
written in the
but
stars. It had to happen.
It had to. I mean, I've seen games with Nico when he played for Mouse Sports having something like 24 kills when his team was still in single digits. I've seen get-right closeout clutches, but I've never seen an individual performances with so many individual plays from one player. Hats off to Taz. That's incredible. He won 2 3-on-1s earlier in the night, too.
I think the round was like a 2-on-4 for VP, and it was a 1-on-3 for him.
Yep, that's insane. I mean, and that time he doesn't even go for kills. And not to mention, there was another 2 1-on-1s between he and Guardian earlier in the round, which came down from 1-on-2s initially. Like, that's an insane individual performance.
wow, I'm lost for words on that one. Just that last moment when the smoke went down, I thought, he's actually got a chance of doing this, you know. I thought the spam would be coming in. He didn't seem to hear any bullets, though.
No,
what was going on?
Neither of them were peeking it. I'm not sure what they were thinking. In fact, I was looking on the minimap, and they were both far down the hole. They didn't actually peek until there was already 1 second left on it. And Taz was smart because he didn't hug the train. He got out on an angle, so it wasn't like it was obvious where he would be in that smoke.
Yeah, but still, like, when it's a 2-on-1, at least sacrifice one person when the bomb's down. You hear a smoke going off. Surely you wanted to send one person just to make sure that can't happen, but what a way to finish it. Taz, I think he's going to have a highlight reel dedicated to this one map alone.
If I'm not mistaken, he would have finished somewhere around 46 or 47 kills in the end. But we are going to skip all the statistics because we'd have to compile them. It would take a second, not to mention the teams want to continue on. This series is epic. Virtus.pro have won the only 2 maps played, which means it's now 2-1. We'll take a very short break. We're coming back on Mirage.